Oh boy, it's all coming up.
Today is Charles Nelson Riley's birthday.
What?
Yeah, he would have been 94. Or 93.
What do you mean would have been?
93 or 94?
93, I believe.
All right. I think what was that? Wait, what was that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was feeling great.
This is great. This is great.
Stand up.
No, I'm all burpy with donut and coffee.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 907.
The Charles Nelson Riley cast.
In honor of Charles Nelson Riley, but that's every show. The Floragato Podcast. Mom Brain, will you please tell us about Floragato?
Thank you, Floragato.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
Floragato.
Hi, everyone. Floragato deftly wields the vine hidden beneath its long fur,
Betwixt.
slamming the hard flower bud against its opponents.
Tug on my fur.
Mm-hmm. They're 2
Smack
feet
you
tall.
with my flower bud.
They're 26 pounds.
Oh, just hit one at random. That's what we got.
Unbelievable.
Is flower bud like the pistil?
Or the stamen.
Stamen.
I think that's the orifice.
Sorry, there's cat hair on my microphone. They're male and female, and the category is grass cat. Abilities include overgrow, powers up grass type moves when the Pokemon's HP is low. Contrary to what Raw Meat has accused me of in the last week, I am not reading ahead. I am not, in fact, looking at the telephone at all. Here you go, Raw Meat.
Telephone.
Hurry up already. Thanks, Mom Brain. I appreciate it.
Do you? How much?
Showing your age there, Mom Brain.
What's my scale? What am I
What's a
rating?
telephone these days?
On a
Telephone.
scale of 1 to 10.
Cellophone. I like it. Scale of 1 to 10. How much do I appreciate? 10.
Appreciate
Solid
you.
10. Mom Brain is here.
I am.
And the weather has permitted. It's a beautiful 50-something degree. Well, let's see.
It was earlier 59
48
degrees.
and windy, it says.
Dropping fast, but yeah.
But
we're really hoping for some snow on Tuesday because I have professional development all day and I just really don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, it seems
I
like
think you're
gonna
great.
Get your
I don't
wish.
think you need to develop anymore.
Is it going to snow on Tuesday?
It seems like it's going to snow. Yeah.
Now, if you
Very
ask
cool.
if you ask the custodian, we're getting 8 inches.
Who's making the joke?
Is he male or female? Are they male or female?
It's a lady. But I've not seen
so
that.
I would trust her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Too much.
My area says 1 inch.
Yeah, I mean that's Jesus Christ.
My apologies, everyone. I made a mistake, and Mom Brain is about to jump out of her skin. No mistakes here.
She got startled.
That was a
That's
scary
the-
sounding water bottle fall. My goodness.
We are okay. It was a water bottle. It was not a Stanley. It was not a Stanley. I'm not a Stanley water bottle person. Nothing against them, just not a Stanley.
I saw. I don't know if it was TikTok or a reel somewhere, but somebody says Stanleys are on the way out because of all the videos of all like the middle-aged moms going crazy for them. Everyone else could be like, "I'm out."
Yep.
You can have them.
It's true because nothing makes something unpopular like people thinking something's popular because people suck.
You know what isn't popular these
people
days?
like this? Not for me.
Let's unhype this one. The GoNintendo podcast. Am I right? Not loved by middle-aged moms. Everyone.
What am I going to do with all these Beanie Babies?
You're going to sell them and reap your fortune.
That popularity is going to come back around.
Yeah.
You watch.
Hang in there.
Nicky Hill is here.
Hi.
Dew Michaels is here.
Cuckoo.
The one and only Josh Grobot is here. Josh, my friend, how are you doing? How's life treating you?
I'm here to grace you with my presence.
Thank you. We appreciate it as always. George is here. My friend George, how are you?
George, no.
How you been? How's this week treating you?
A little sour, pretty lime. Feeling lime.
Little sour, but feeling lime. Okay. All right. I'll take it. Let me say hello. Whoops.
I am
Feeling
the
smart.
world's best
Feeling
singer.
tart.
Okay. Well, Josh, go ahead if you want to. Whose birthday?
It's Giant Reggie's birthday on Monday.
Oh, well, you buried the lead there. It's Giant Reggie's birthday on Monday. Happy birthday.
Will you stop stealing his thunder?
Josh and I used to duet all the time. Hello, happy birthday, Giant Reggie. Happy early birthday. Hello, alternates Liz and No Blades, No Bows and Tony de la Mancha and Tall Show and Highly and Tom and Roth and Giant Reggie, of course, and Outlaws and Freddie Fro and Ice Dilbert and Solamaster Link and Drake and the Discord and Retsuza. Discord is fighting me, man. And Elfman, look at those cat beans. We love it. And Dauntless Monk and Khufu the Mummy. Yeah, I read this news. And Gecko Kitsune and Popple and Jovial Jeffer. And whoever else. Rest in peace, Fruit Stripe Gum. Yes, I read that.
I
this week.
misread that when I first saw somebody posted that, and it said it was discontinued after 54 years or 52 years, and I was like, it wasn't discontinued 50. Like I misread that it was discontinued. It's been like I thought it's been discontinued for this
We
long.
made the difficult decision
And I
to
was like-
discontinue this for 54 years.
And I was like, wait a second, like that was around when we were younger. And apparently it's been around
We've
since
just
we
been
were older
chewing
too.
expired illegal
Yeah.
gum this whole time.
Oddly enough, the gum itself discontinues its flavor after 1 minute. So
Well, it makes sense that if it was discontinued 50 years ago and we were just getting all like the old like nasty stuff, because I haven't
Already
seen
been
it
chewed.
recently.
hi, Super Blast X.
So
Thank you for the comments, guys.
Can
yes.
we see what it looks like? Or is that a pain for you?
No, it's not. Let me just bring up the window here.
The actual gum.
Rip. There you go. Pretty. That's much
that.
better. That's much better.
Yeah, is this light behind me obnoxious? You want
This
me to
little
push
light
it
of
up a
mine.
little?
Who are you talking to?
You.
The royal way? I don't care. It's fine.
talking
For
to?
those only listening, the video version of the show, I completely swapped sides of the room and pushed out the table and extended it a different way, and we're giving it a shot. And I agree. I think it looks much
And we're
better.
not wearing clothes.
And we'll try. We'll see if everybody's comfortable after the end of the show. If everybody feels good, but yeah, I think it's a hit so far. So thank you. I appreciate that. There are things I want to talk about before we get into news, as always. But you know what I should do? Does anybody here at the table have anything they want to talk about before I talk about the things I want to
I
talk
haven't
about?
been here for months.
Well, the floor is yours. The table's yours.
I want to get into the Cheugy business and create a bathroom sign that says "Release the Crappin'."
I don't know if that's Cheugy. Maybe if it's written in the right font, it
Yeah,
would be
like make
Cheugy.
it in like a nice
Okay.
wooden sign. I mean, I looked it up, and people have been making that pun for quite a while.
but not
but,
in Cheugy font.
You know, it made me think, like, you know, you see an octopus, like it makes me think of the old octopus from the Popeye movie, where he punches the
Yes.
octopus in the eye. And I was like, you make that eye a butthole, and you put that on the sign, but it's not like in your face butthole. It's just like a subtle. So, like, you know, it's a subliminal,
subtle hole.
buttle.
a
goodness.
subliminal beal.
Also, I
Um,
should say this now quickly. I redid everybody's levels on the podcast, and it seems like it's made a considerable difference. So there's that too. But anyway, go ahead. Yes.
So
subtle
yeah,
buttle.
I want to get into
You were
the,
saying?
the
You're
crap
talking about Cheugy buttholes.
Cheugy butthole. And then I had something else, but if somebody else wants to talk, we'll take turns.
Yeah, you know, I don't have anything to follow that one up, but thanks for giving me the time. My goodness, I'm in awe.
You good, Mom Bree?
I think I'm good.
All right,
Okay.
go right
So
ahead.
here's the other thing that I thought of. I was listening to a video on my way here, somebody doing a review of something, and the voices of people doing reviews, especially when they're by themselves, like just all internet videos. I personally do not like the pitches, like just the way people kind of have to talk to keep things sounding interesting and keep you engaged, where like the pitches go up and down and every sentence sounds the exact same, and it drives me insane.
When there's certain cadences that also irk me, but I understand the
I bet
game
this
and the
podcast
reasoning.
But-
is absolutely guilty of doing that to someone.
No, we're totally natural. He's talking about the
So,
performance.
But and I don't want to. I'm gonna say something, and it might be really offensive, and I don't mean it to be offensive.
Black people.
But
Remember, impact over intent. So if the impact
no,
is
it's
really going to
not-
be bad, it doesn't mean it doesn't
I
matter
don't-
if you have good intent.
I'm not good with understanding things that sound like that. So
well, the more we play it up in the beginning, the worse it will be.
well, I don't
So-
want to offend you,
I knew it was going to be
but
about me.
I
but go right
because
ahead.
but
I 100%.
well, no,
knew it.
Here we go.
your TikTok reviews,
Mhm.
you sound like a different person when you do
I
them,
agree because
because
I hate it.
because you're speaking directly to it.
Hmm.
And your other videos that you used to do, or maybe that you still do, I don't see them all, for GoNintendo, had a different energy or approach.
Yes, one is scripted and one is unscripted.
Okay, well then I don't
Guess which one
understand.
is
You're doing
scripted?
the TikTok ones for fun, for things that you want to do, but you say you hate it, so that confuses me.
Well, I can't. So TikTok has a 10-minute limit. I don't have a 10-minute limit personally. Like I'm going to go forever. So I write out
Oh.
a script for TikTok and then do
Okay.
it.
Well, here's my thing.
The thing is,
I think reviews would be more interesting, and I don't really remember Siskel and Ebert, but I think because it was two people talking about things, not just one person saying this is my opinion, done. It's a conversation. So I think if we did, I'm that's why I'm doing this on the podcast, because I actually would like to maybe attempt this. Time might get tough, but I still want to try it, where two or more people give their, like, have a conversation about something instead of just a review. And instead of it being like a review, we can call it like a 3D view, because it's multiple angles, multiple perspectives talking about the same thing. We don't end up with a star rating essentially, but you get opinions and you get conversation.
hi Marsboro.
And it's not the same thing of talking like this, and this is what happens in this thing. Like, that stuff drives me insane. And I think conversation is more interesting to listen to. I guess a lot of
is.
people are doing it. Like, there's a lot of
It
people
is,
doing
but that's
reviews.
the thing. Like, I 100% agree with that. I personally find that more interesting. The algorithm shows that people don't. It has an audience, don't get me wrong, but also that's like a pod. Like, what, when you see those things, those are pieces of a bigger thing that's recorded, like a regular podcast or like a 40-minute discussion. You know, if it's popping up
When
on
you see
TikTok,
it,
it's
when
just
they're
like
actually talking about it.
yeah. What do you mean?
You're saying those things, not the things where it's
Those
a
are
specific
snippets of
right.
bigger, much bigger things.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
editing
there's
goes into that,
videos on YouTube of people reviewing things where they're sitting together, but
Yeah.
also, like,
Hi,
there's a
Zika
lot.
Muto.
I mean, the ones that I've seen of those,
Hi, Joe Shabadoo.
they're just tearing things apart and not actually having a conversation. They're on the same exact page, and they're not discussing it. They're just telling you why it's good or bad.
And that's what gets the most attention, because people don't want to hear the discussion. They just want to hear, well, mostly they want to hear why something's bad. That's the honest truth. They want to hear someone tell them why something's bad in as harsh terms as possible,
Yeah.
why it's bad. That's what people want the most. But I got somebody on TikTok just yesterday, where it's two people talking about a movie. I don't remember the movie, but their conversation back and forth was really good. And I was like, this is great. Like, I like these two. And they had like next to no views. Like, people don't want that. They want like visceral, angry, mean, snarky. You know, not everybody, of course, but it's really funny because one of our friends just yesterday sent me a video about this guy who reviews books on TikTok. And he was saying, you have to play the algorithm, and everything matters in the algorithm. What I wear, how I sound, how long the clip is, what my first line is. Like, he's like, all of it goes into it, and it kills me because he's like, he did 2 TikToks that were about his favorite books of 2023. And he broke it up into 2 parts so he could talk longer about the books that he liked. And between the 2, he got 30,000 views. He goes, I did videos years ago where I had not even a tenth of the followers, but because I did it, you know, with certain lighting, and because I didn't like explain why I like things, that had over 1 million views. He's like, that's not the kind of content I want to do, but that's what people want to see. So he's like, it's very disheartening to create stuff where you feel like you're really having a conversation or really imparting thoughts and ideas with people on why you feel the way you do. And people are like, I don't want that. Next. So that's the all ID algorithm. That's
Yeah,
the way it goes.
everything
Maybe
sucks.
the two of you should team up. And since
Okay.
you rarely agree on any movies, you could each write your own scripts, and you can be on the same video. You'll do your talking head bit, you'll do yours, and then in the comments, people won't know who to hate. They're gonna like hate
Or you
one or
could-
the other.
They
You
can hate
could
us
do it
both.
like the Weekend Update where they write each other's jokes and then swap them.
Oh,
man, that'd
that's
be
a good
funny.
idea.
Or we have a conversation, we debate whatever we debate, but then at the very end, we finish it off with one of those smack contests.
UFC is very big with that. Whatever they have that whole league. I forget what the
Yeah.
UFC calls it, but yes, just people smacking each other in the face.
Where,
Sure, we could do
where
that.
maybe we don't really hit each other that hard, but we cover our hands in flour so it looks real bad.
Okay.
It looks pretty bad either way, I think.
Yeah.
I don't
Especially when
know.
they fall face first into the ground, it looks really bad. I've been thinking about a lot of this stuff lately because I've been thinking about how I talk about what I watch and how I have to do a better job of listening to people and not thinking about how I want to counter what they're saying and just letting people say it and then share how I feel and see if there's any back and forth and see if there's any conversation to be had. So I mean, I'm totally down. But yes, I did a video on TikTok where I did it unscripted and I was saying everything I wanted to say. It saved as a draft. It was too long. I hit the 10-minute mark. Like it's impossible. I had
What if
to,
we just go blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I liked it.
well, that's the
Done.
thing. Like
Done.
there's a
Check.
big difference between can I create something that I know the algorithm will eat up and can I create something that I will be happy with? They're two completely
good
different
question.
things. And the stuff I'm doing on TikTok for me is just for me because I like talking about the stuff that I like. So I can fit within the 10 minutes. I'll write a script. The script takes me, I don't know, 10 minutes. It doesn't take long.
You know, what would probably get some more likes on your algorithm is a release the crappin' sign behind you.
I agree.
Open up my
I
TikTok
agree.
store with release the crap.
Oh,
Well, If you want to do something, I'm totally down.
I haven't seen you since I finished Reservation Dogs.
Oh.
And
Oh, I freaking loved it.
gives me chills just hearing that from you.
Well,
I
I
loved
got
it.
great news for you because your recommendation, I watched it and liked it. Mom Brain watched it and liked it. Now my mom blew through it in like a week.
Are you talking about Reservation Dogs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
and she was like the first couple episodes I was like, but by the end I absolutely loved it. So she's another one. She
Great.
loves it.
I can't put my finger on. There's something other. It's out of time and space. Like where they are is out of time and space, and something about that is like Twin Peaksy to me. It's like
Hi, Kurt Dog.
it's like organic and real, like people doing like real regular things, but there's just something about it that's like outside of time and space, which made it cozy and wonderful. And the relationships between the kids and everybody and the sense of community, like everything about it, I loved it. I will watch it again. Absolutely.
That's wonderful. That's great.
My mom really loved the dead Indian guy, the spirit guy.
Oh yeah.
Loved him.
Oh,
He reminds me of our friend that lives in Pittsburgh.
Drake, that is true.
yeah, absolutely.
Drake, I'm going to talk about that later. Kurt
But,
Dog, that go ahead. Sorry.
no,
Nicky.
go ahead.
Kurt Dog, that's an amazing picture with the dog
Well,
and your Nickelodeon alarm clock. And I love it.
it's
That's such
Barnaby, and
it's
he
such
showed a
great
picture of Barnaby looking mean before, and I called baloney because we know Barnaby's not mean.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Nikki.
No,
Hi,
I'm glad you
Barnaby!
really liked it. I think I know what you mean, but also I don't know because like I don't know like how accurate it is, or if that's just like truly just life
Yeah,
on the reservation and like that's what people really live, or if it's kind of
like a personification. Yeah,
dramatized.
yeah.
but yeah, there's something about it that is just like there's just so much heart in it from like the very beginning.
Hi, PT. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, let's call out the fact that Hulu has a show where the main character is named Bear, and then there's a show called The
I
Bear.
know, right?
Like, what?
But they all took it from Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh, okay.
Which
Um,
is premium.
I get your
Premium
Twin
television.
Peaks stuff because you got like talking to the spirit guides and people that
Spiritual.
aren't there. You got the
Dear lady.
the dear lady
Who
and-
is
yeah,
immaculate.
all that stuff.
When I die, I hope to become Dear Lady.
I was gonna say you don't want to meet her, but
I would
Well, that's
never.
what I loved. Like they don't. I mean, they kind of shove it in your face because there's like
Hi,
episodes
Blunders.
based on it, but also it's just done in a way that's just like
we got a who's
matter
who
of
today.
fact,
Yeah.
and it's just like this is
Oh,
a real thing. Like
beautiful
in-
Roth.
in this community, this is fact, and yeah, I don't know.
And I just, the relationships between the generations, it's so common for us to have like, okay, boomer, and like all that jazz.
Right.
And not that it's wrong, right? But to see a community where like the young people and like the older generation like respect each other and take
Mhm,
care of each
mhm.
other. It's not like contentious or like, well, when I was your age, it's just like, hey, we're all here together and like we can learn from each other and we can take care of each other.
Tony De La Mancha says Res Dogs is great. Cheese is my idol.
You're right, Tony.
Cheese is
Cheese is phenomenal.
every other
Phenomenal.
sentence here. I'm getting chills.
And Zikamudo, I totally agree. Yes, I was talking about that with the cousin. Hulu and Disney Plus together, just because Disney upped their stake in Hulu so they could do that stuff. So that's why Echo premiered on Disney Plus and Hulu at the same time.
Well, and then I I said it to do. Very upset with the fact that there's a dog in Echo named Billy Jack,
Yeah.
and the girl in Reservation Dogs is Willie
Willie
Jack.
Jack.
I'm like, come on,
I know.
come on.
It's on purpose.
Do you think?
Yeah,
it's like
it's 100%.
it's like
on
a
purpose.
tribute, but it's also just like, come on.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat mentioned it, and I said I would talk about it later, but since you brought it up, I'll talk about it now. Yeah, Echo's like a mini Reservation Dogs reunion as far as actors go. There's so many
Also,
in that show that's in Reservation Dogs.
Alora is the voice of
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know, I can't remember.
Yeah, her name.
Ahorma.
Oh.
Oh.
I looked it up
I'd have to
earlier.
look it up. I forget, but yeah, I thought that was cool that she plays the voice of that character, and I guess she will be the voice going forward. But
And not to derail us entirely, but I also finished Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh, cool.
It gave me bad dreams because I watched it like at night, and I had it wasn't like
Cohorty.
nightmares, but it was bad dream, like
Cohorty.
just bad dreams.
Yeah.
thank you, Cohorty. Thank you,
Cohorty.
Drake.
I adored the mood of the show. I thought just the mood was like really like juicy, like you could really settle into it. I wanted all the lights off. I wouldn't want to watch during the day.
Yeah.
I felt like the beginning was promising and the end was satisfying, but the middle got real muddy. Like I just felt like I was like, what are we doing? Like where are we? And then of course there was an episode that Rami did not warn me about.
Oh,
Yeah, with a cat, and I had a hard time with that. So
Yeah.
that kind of was like a
another thing I said to do about that show was there's this one line,
Fall of the House of Usher.
Fall of the House of Usher, the patriarch says something to somebody like, I'm not good with what does he say? Like, I'm not good with sermons, or I'm not good with like speeches or something. I was like,
That's all the man
bro,
does.
that's all you
you've
do
been
is
doing.
talk. You don't shut up. And then
Yeah.
like even I was on TikTok or something, it came up where it's like the whole when life gives you lemons, and he goes on this whole rant, and I was just like, I sat there watching it on TikTok for no reason. Like I was just like, man, this guy, but he's not good with talking.
I mean, it's Mike Flanagan's style. That's what he does. But in Fall of the House of Usher was particularly noticeable for me.
And he just went on like, yeah.
I read recently that Bruce Greenwood wasn't originally cast in that role. Whoever was, I forget. It was actually someone
That's
relatively
the guy that
famous.
wrote Proud to be an American.
I don't remember.
It's Lee. I think it's Lee Greenwood.
Okay, Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I guess they had to get Bruce Greenwood like last minute. So a lot of that stuff, regardless of how cheesy some of that writing is, like a lot of that stuff is like he didn't really have time to rehearse any of that stuff. So
yeah, I don't fault him at all. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he's fine. I think it's the writing that was a little rough for me. But yeah, I mean, I like him in the show. I got no complaints about him at all. All right. Well, we went on a little bit of a tangent, but that's fine. That's what we do here. And now let me talk about the things I want to talk about before we even get to news. First up, the Patreon wrap up as I started last week. By the way, thank you very much to everybody that
For
joined
$1.
Patreon for $1 this past week. I guess what I wrote and what I spoke about convinced a few people to go over there and check it out. So thank you. We had a good amount of people join up. So Patreon is $1. You get absolutely everything. And I'll tell you what I talked about over the last week. Not great.
Scandalous stuff with like your.
Oh my
No,
god.
that's not Patreon. Again, I won't go into huge detail on this stuff. You can hop over to Patreon and check it out. So this week I wrote about PictoChat and how much I loved PictoChat and how much I miss PictoChat. And I shared Nicky Hill our great memories of me, you, John Savage, and Mom Brain at Perkins the day it came out. The DS.
Yeah.
And we PictoChatted at Perkins.
Oh my
because that's one of
gosh.
my favorite memories. I will never
I was
forget
thinking
it.
P-Cross, but yeah, PictoChat is...
PictoChat. Yeah, we were like, will the DS have enough charge to do something? And we got like an hour's worth of PictoChat out of it, and it was a good time. I talked to people about the last game that moved you. I wanted to hear from other people about what the most recent game was they played that moved them
to a bigger house.
But I mentioned that it was Meg's Monster for me, which I've talked about before. That's the most recent game I can think of that really moved me. I talked about Otogi Katsugeki Mameda no Bakeru, which is basically a spiritual successor to Mystical Ninja.
Hello.
It is only announced for Japan. It is out in Japan. They just put out a demo on the Japanese Switch eShop this week. It's made by Goodfeel, the people who've worked with Nintendo on Yoshi games and Kirby games. But it's their spiritual successor to
Goodfeel, man.
Mystical Ninja. Konami does Mystical Ninja, so this is not related to Mystical Ninja in any way, but it has a very similar vibe and play style. And I absolutely, as soon as I saw the first seconds of the trailer, I was like, I want this game, so I know what's going to happen. It's not going to get localized. Still isn't localized. Still hasn't been announced to be localized. No word about it at all. But I wrote about that game, why I'm interested, why I hope it gets localized, and all that jazz. I also wrote about Echo, the Marvel show, and I wrote specifically about how the show covers generational trauma. So I did that, but as Nicky Hill was saying, I also, on my personal TikTok account, I did a little review of Echo if you'd like to go watch that. Also, the next day, writing about Echo, it was really strange because I go on Facebook once a day, only to make sure that GoNintendo's side of Facebook is working as it should and everything's okay there.
And to post all my right-wing propaganda.
Oh, yeah, of course. That goes without saying. If you want my right-wing thoughts, go over to Facebook. So I logged in, and in the little notifications, it was like, you have memories today. And it was like from this person and that person. And one of them was Mom Brain. And I was like, I'll go see. Sure, whatever. And it was a whole bunch of nothing. But there was one from 5 years ago on January 11th. And it was like, it was me saying, I decided I'm going to start watching Marvel movies and I'm going to start watching Iron Man. I was like, wow, this was 5 years ago to the day. So the day I watched Echo was the day that I started watching Marvel stuff 5 years ago. And I was like, what a big moment. Like, it not only got me to watch Marvel, it got me into comic books and buying. So I wrote about that because I was like, I can't believe it's been 5 years.
I don't want to like talk it down.
But here we go.
But
buckle up, everybody.
There's a good chance that at any point during the year, if you start watching something that's Marvel, it coincides with an anniversary release of another Marvel thing, and it's different.
Well, this was the beginning. Yeah. This was the inception. There's only one of those, but yes, there is a lot of Marvel stuff. So I'm sure on other dates. But you know,
is that the day that you actually started, or is that the day you posted about going to start?
One in the same.
Oh,
no, I print, you know, this is really funny. I print screen the message because I knew you'd ask me that question. So
I print out every Facebook post that I do as I make it. I print it out. I got a whole wall.
I closed down.
I got a stack this big.
And I was like, if I bring this up on the podcast, Nicky Hill's going to grill me about it. So I hit print screen and saved it on my desktop. And
Iron Man.
I talked about Golden Sun, the 2 Golden Sun games that are coming to the Game Boy or Switch Online, the Game Boy Advance titles. I've never played Golden Sun because I was afraid of RPGs back then. So, of course, I didn't. But I've only heard such wonderful things about Golden Sun. And now I will have the chance to play the first 2 games in the series, which is awesome because I want to. And I've missed out on them so many different ways. And now I can right that wrong. So they come out, what, the 16th or the 17th? It's in a couple days. Golden Sun, won't you come? That one.
Yeah.
He's heading towards certain death.
Yes, it's true, Solid Master Link. That is what got me into comics. I'll explain very quickly in a second. But I wrote about Golden Sun and how excited I am for that. And there were a lot of comments from you guys on Patreon because a lot of you played those games and you were like, those are some of my favorite memories. Those are some of my favorite RPGs. So really awesome to see. And I'll be playing them as soon as they come out. This coming week is a big week. It's a big week, baby. Friday.
Wow, that lined up perfectly with his point. Everybody go to YouTube and watch that.
The 19th is
another day.
Another code.
Oh, is it?
Recollection. Yes. For you as well. I know you're I'm
are we
you're
only
gonna
I'm
talk about
sorry,
it.
excuse me for not remembering. Are we only getting that digital?
No, that's physical too. It's first party Nintendo, always
That's great.
physical.
It's great to know.
Yes, demo is happening. And so yes, this is a big week because of that. Prince of Persia comes out this week, which I'll be talking about later. Prince of Persia. I'll talk about it later. It's really good. It's really, really good. Now that I can talk about it. Golden Sun, 2 of them this week. So yeah, lots to play. Very excited. And then finally, the last thing I talked about for the week was Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked. And yes, that game is fun.
Sorry, a little late. Reggie was.
Limited Run Games announced that they're doing with Konami Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked, which is the first 3 Rocket Knight games. So I played Rocket Knight Adventures. I still own my original Genesis copy of that game, but I never played Sparkster, the sequel, because I was a kid. I didn't have disposable income, and I didn't want to trade in stuff to get them because everything I had I wanted to keep. So I never played the Genesis or the Super Nintendo one, and they are different games. They may have come out very close to each other, and they have the same name, but they are different games.
They were never re-released before?
I believe one of the Sparksters was on Virtual Console, but not both.
Rocket Knight Adventures.
And you never
Rocket Knight Adventures is the one that I have.
It's it's an animal of some sort.
Possum. Or if you prefer, Opossum.
Oh, Possum.
I own the Genesis one, which was the first one. They did the sequel for Super Nintendo and Genesis. But again, 2 different games.
Which one's better?
I don't know. I haven't played them. I'll find out. I'll tell you.
So you didn't you never played that Sparkster when emulators first became a thing and you were doing that?
Tell you the truth, like when I was in my emulator era back in high school, I played like stuff that I was just like, I could play stuff that I had as a kid. So I played like Rocket Knight Adventures.
Right, that's where I first played Rocket Knight Adventures because you were like, this game's awesome. And I was like,
Star.
I never heard of this.
And then on top of that, I was like, what's up?
No, sorry. Solid Master Link just messaged. Said there was a remake on the Wii, PS3, and 360. So that's why that image is fresh in my mind.
Is that a remake?
Fresher.
What? On the Wii?
Yeah.
I don't think it was on the Wii. Maybe it was. I would have played it on the Wii if it was. But
if it was a remake.
That's true. You're right. But I feel like I know
I
about
just feel
it.
I mean I would not have known.
I was going to say emulators. I played a lot of arcade stuff because that blew my mind. I was like, I can play the Battletoads arcade game at home or like Simpsons arcade game at home. So that's what I was doing. Then I realized I didn't want to live that life.
The life of a guy playing things that he likes to play.
Well, without paying. It's, in my opinion, for me, it's not right.
And you'll never get to play those things again.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm going to buy 2 of them soon.
You're going to buy arcade games?
No. Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, they put out arcade games all the time. I own the Simpsons arcade game now. I own the Turtles arcade game. So, yeah, if they re-release them, sure, depending on if I want the game or not. What was I saying? So, yeah, Limited Run Games is doing that package, and they have, like, their standard. Comes to the Switch, all 3 games, $35. Then there's a special version. Then there's the Ultra Collector's Edition. And Rocket Knight Adventures is so near and dear to my heart that I said I might bite the bullet on this one and actually go for it. So I talk more about that in the post on Patreon.
It
but
looks
there
like
you go.
maybe a re-release was a remake. Remake? I don't know. I don't understand.
There was a brand new Rocket
Knight.
Knight game just called Rocket
Rocket
Knight.
Knight.
I played it on Steam.
So that was on
To my
Windows
knowledge-
360, PlayStation 3.
Yeah, to my knowledge, there were no Rocket Knight games on Wii other than
don't
Rocket
know.
Knight Adventures
Maybe-
through the Virtual Console.
Maybe a long time ago, it was probably sent in with music, and that's the only reason. Because I would never know what this little armored opossum would be from.
That's the one.
going well.
That's the one that Kirby wanted to play but didn't have a Genesis as a kid, and he wanted to play it so bad he wrote Konami and was like, "Can you make a sequel and put it on the Super Nintendo?" And they did, and then he never played it.
Speaking
Oh,
of, I
man.
can't remember who exactly, but when we
Ooh,
first started,
nice, Ice Dilbert.
when we first started in the Discord, somebody typed Kirby. We type your name.
I saw that. Yes. Not trying to be
Oh
an
my gosh, I
actually
can't
guy saw
believe that.
Mr. Link.
He
Just
wrote
Rocket Knight is
them?
near and dear to my heart.
He wrote to them. They did it for him, and he didn't play it.
Said it on the back of the box. Said this one's
And
for
like
Kirby.
prior to email, even so, like he had to
He
go
wrote
through
a
like
letter to them.
right,
Yeah.
like
He had
and,
a- he had a-
address it and put it in the mailbox and ask his parents for a stamp.
He
know
had to
what
go through
happened?
3 levels of English class in school
It got
just to write it.
it got
too, you know?
popular. Then he didn't want to play it because he's
'Cause back
definitely
then-
that kind of guy.
Well, back then he was speaking Swedish, or what are they speaking in? Or he was a German. What was he speaking like?
Swerming.
Where's he from? Switzerland.
He's from Europe. That's as much as you're getting.
So
from
he was speaking European, and so he had to learn English to write that letter. That's
Speaking
dedication.
Of, I was listening to H3 the other day, and to support my love of love, I just want to say he said a sentence that was, if not exactly, very close to, "Bro, a sweet treat in the morning is everything."
There you
And
go.
And it was
A sweet treat all the time is
it's
everything.
like, bro, and he was so serious. Bro, a sweet treat in the morning is everything, and it was so great.
I
RMC
understand
knows
it.
that.
I very much do.
Yeah.
Very, very much
And
do.
thanks be to Grandma Myrtle for
Rest in peace, Grandma Myrtle.
modeling
She
that
was
and fostering
she was
it.
the OG. Yeah, started. Well, I was gonna say started every day, but literally just all day, every day.
Yeah, she started her days early.
Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies and honey buns and
Yum,
cups
yum.
of tea, and like
There's
she'd make
something
dinner
great
for people and be
about-
like, "Here's a turkey and mashed potatoes," and then she'd like sneak away and eat like an oatmeal cream pie.
She
or
kept them on
something.
top of the fridge
Yeah.
too, in like the boxes.
The first place I went to, every time I'd go over there, there were 2 places. Go to my grandparents' house, go on top of the fridge to get an oatmeal cream pie or a honey bun, and then go on top of my grandfather's closet because he had like a
League
a retail box of Big League
Yep.
Chew.
Oh,
So like
cool.
20 packets of Big League Chew. So,
And there's
Those were
something
the
great
days.
about the wetness of a packaged honey bun.
you
That,
know,
that should by rights be
there's
absolutely
not.
disgusting.
I would say there's nothing. I don't like it, but I like the honey bun. I fight through.
oh
Like
no.
I take it out and put it on a plate, and I use a fork to eat it because I hate the wetness, like touching it.
Oh,
But
wow.
eating
Put
it
the
is
blow
fine.
dryer on it or a fan.
It's gross. It's I used to
they're-
think like they're wet because it got hot. Nope, they're just wet all
I
the time.
like how you won't touch it with your fingers, but you'll make
Put
sure
it
it's
inside
in
my
your
body, yeah.
in your mouth and then down into your body.
Listen, I know it's okay to eat. I'm just skeeved out by the wetness of it. I
I
don't
bought
wanna
one
feel it.
recently. Like I just went to a Wawa and I was like, I want something.
Mhm.
And dear Lord, those things are like the highest. Like they are packed with
Don't ruin this.
calories.
Don't ruin this.
No, that's
What do you mean
delicious.
don't ruin it. I know how many calories are in it. You think I don't know? Wait, what are you talking about? Honey buns or oatmeal cream
Yeah.
pies? They're
Like
They're-
like by weight or whatever, they're the highest
it's like
calorie count. It's
it's
crazy.
like 280 or something. No, not
Well,
for
an individually packaged
are
one you
getting
get from a
big
convenience
Texas?
store.
Yeah, it might be.
No, it's not a big Texas. It's just a honey bun. But my gosh, it's like 500 plus.
I'm getting hungry, people. Hungry
Listen,
for
I
honey
went-
buns.
I
I
have
am on-
a curried lentil something or other I could throw in the crock pot. For
Yeah,
later
I
if we
don't
need
know.
to.
You must have got a giant one because I just had
Well,
one
no, when
recently. They're
the-
230 calories.
If you get a box of them and they're packaged that
Yeah,
way, if
so-
you get them
oh,
individually
They're
packaged,
bumping them up.
just
yeah.
like a cosmic brownie, if you get it in a box,
Oh, baby.
they're this big. But if you get it
Delicious.
individual at the store, they're that big and they're 500 something
Tasty.
calories.
Little Debbie's at the store, they give you the double deckers,
They're
and
Big
those are like
Debras.
500. Big Debras, that's right.
Big Debbers.
They're over 500. Yeah,
Something about talking about drying off the honey buns reminded me of
I don't try them off.
last night we went to Costco and they had out on display one of those like it looks like a fan, but it's a heater. Like it looks like an old school oscillating fan, but it's like, you see it turn red and it's got the grill and everything. And Rami walked by it and he was like, "Oh, this is so nice." And then like 2 aisles later, he's like, "I can still feel the warmth on my
I was
chest."
walking by and it's like, I still feel it right here. That thing was great. It's
like,
only like
wow.
$70 too. Because when we're playing
You have cancer
Fortnite
now.
or when I'm playing whenever I'm playing anything downstairs, I'm frozen to the bone. I'm
Now we
covered
have a pellet stove down there that we could have on.
I have a hat, 3 shirts, pants, the blanket on top. I'm freezing. And I was like, $70 for this thing? I might do it. So I gotta think about it. Also, so we were talking about honey buns. All these knockoff of honey buns are lesser in calories by probably like 40, but they're still really good. So we had a whole box of them and they were great. So if you're looking for a cheaper
Should I bring in
version
the chocolates
that
we got
tastes just as
yesterday?
good, I think you should. I think you should. I'm gonna move on while Mom Brain gets a little sweet. Oh, you haven't had the lemon thing, the Cheez-It lemon thing.
No.
Do you want one?
Sure, but Mom Brain, that soup thing, I think you would like the green bean casserole chocolate. It's dark chocolate and it kind of masks everything, so you don't really get all the extra flavor out of it.
That's what you know.
It
yeah.
tastes less like what you don't want and more like what you do. My parents had the Cheez-It lemon bars and they both gave it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Please apologize to Nicky Hill about why there's no topping.
So
I mean, this is like 3 weeks old.
Have you
right?
been
This is
sprinkling
still
the
good?
they're in the
topping on
fridge.
your
Yeah, they're fine. My parents
moon
literally
pies?
just had one a couple days ago. So
Well, have you spoken to him since?
one of them.
They passed away.
One of them. They died.
They've been
half.
releasing the
They
crap
passed
crapping for
in
the last
their
3 days.
Sleep.
So Mom Brain had a mixture of crushed up Cheez-Its and powdered sugar that you could sprinkle on top of
yeah.
it. Not necessary. I have a terrible, terrible problem with sleep eating.
Oh,
I've always had
oh
it.
my gosh! You just ate powdered sugar?
I woke up the next day and I was like, did I eat something last? It's like a little tiny jar. I was like, did I eat something last night? And I walked into the
Sleep
kitchen to
eating,
get
as
my.
in eating and not realizing you're eating.
This is
like
this
you're
is an
still
ongoing.
asleep?
This has
Yeah.
been this is
Well,
a,
no, I'm not still asleep, but I'm not awake enough to like.
this is a long running thing for him.
It still happens all the time.
Like he
So-
would wake up with like boxes of things empty just next to him.
I went into the kitchen to go get my daily vitamins, and I looked over and I
they
was
weren't
like,
full. at
that
the time.
jar's empty. I ate a jar of dust. I ate a jar of
I wonder
Cheez-It
how you
powdered sugar
did.
dust. What do you mean?
Do you think you would have dumped it like this, like drinking?
No, there was a
cup,
little
or
spoon next to it.
you
I
drank-
had like
you used a little
it was like,
spoon?
and it wasn't like a regular spoon. It was like a little like
a little
espresso
dipstick
spoon.
yeah, I know what you mean.
So
That would
yeah, I'll wake up.
you can see him stand like he never. The only time you eat something is sitting in the living room or something,
or
But
my office.
see him standing in the kitchen with like this.
Yeah,
little,
I know. I wish I
have-
could have seen myself
which
doing
is
it.
another TikTok I just saw of a kid that drinks a whole 5-liter jug of water by using things that are not spoons.
Oh
He
yeah,
uses a
I
fork?
hated that. I
saw
hated that. I hated
For
it
5
so
hours.
much. I couldn't. I knew you'd like that.
That's how
Oh, I didn't
Mr.
like
Beast
it.
got to be so popular.
I
He
didn't like
started
it.
by doing videos like that.
Oh man, this is big. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not going to have any right now, but thank you. I will move on to the one
Vegan
more thing, and then we'll get
chocolate.
into Nintendo news.
Hmm.
I want to say thank you to all of the many of you through all platforms, email, YouTube, even TikTok, and Patreon as well, of course, for reaching out for computer solutions for me. I don't know how much, I don't remember how much I talked about this, but you guys, if you've been listening to the show for the last 2 months, know that 2 months ago, I was having an issue where my keyboard was going nuts and it was causing all kinds of windows to pop up. And I had thought I had fixed it because I went into my computer and I took out the battery because I read online that sometimes a busted battery could cause the exact same issues. It's lemon and cheese. That's
I know. I get a lot of cheese out of it.
it. Could cause those same issues. I took the battery out. My computer was fine for a month and a half. Then just 2 weeks ago, right after we recorded a podcast, I had a very quick window pop up. Deux was here when it happened. And I was like, is there an update for Edge? I have Edge on my computer. I don't use it, but it
The
looked
Rated R
like there was an-
Superstar?
That's right. He's Adam Copeland now. Thank you. So I was like, oh, I hope it's not that issue coming back. And then the next day it was that issue coming back. So luckily I squeezed out last week's podcast without it without that killing the show. I don't know how it happened. But after that, my computer was unusable. So I was like, well, here we go again. Time to figure out what's happening. And you guys sent me a whole bunch of solutions. I tried them all. Nothing worked. So here's what I did. There was software that could be causing a problem. I got rid of the software. The issue went away. The next day it came back. There was I had been thinking that it could have been the CMOS battery, but I didn't know if my laptop had one because some do and some don't. Most don't nowadays, but my laptop's from 2019. So I was like, let me go see if it's got one. I opened it up. I hunted around, and the articles I read online said it can usually be under the keyboard. And I'm like, I don't want to take out the keyboard to find this. So I'm using my flashlight, and I saw what I thought was the battery. And I could take out a little side portion of the laptop. I took that out. I took the battery out. Unfortunately for me, it wasn't the kind of battery that's just popped the battery out. It was one of those plugged in with the plastic wrapped around it. So that was a pain in the ass, but I got it out. Fixed the issue, went back the next day, issue was there again. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. What is going on here? And I was like, well, maybe it's literally just the keyboard. Maybe the keyboard itself is completely busted. So I can't disable it because it doesn't work that way. And I can't take it out of the computer. And I was like, I know I can disconnect it physically inside. And I was like, I've never done that. Let me look up online what a keyboard connection looks like. I had an idea. And I saw some articles and Reddit posts that were like, here's what it'll look like roughly. Yours should look something like this. I'm like, ah. So I went in, looked, and I was like, this looks like it's going to the keyboard. I'm going to try it. So I pulled that cable. Issue went away. Keyboard doesn't work at all. Like I typed, nothing works. So I obviously did disconnect the keyboard. No issue since at all. And it's been a week now. So I 100% think officially we are in the clear. My computer's running better than ever. It's quieter than ever because the fan's not going crazy because of the other stuff that was going on. So we're in tip-top shape right now. And I have a little like Bluetooth keyboard that I used. It's like $20. Thank you, Mom Brain, for picking that up.
After a very, very, very long day at work, like a difficult day, like
I don't have a car.
I am physically marred from the day, actually, and I still went out and got you what you needed.
But thank
because
you.
I provide for my family.
Thank you very much, Mom Brain. Thank you again very much to everybody that suggested solutions. I really appreciate that you guys like take the time and be like, hey, this was my issue, or hey, maybe you should try this, or hey, I read this online, or hey, I've worked in computers, maybe it'd be this. Thank you so much for reaching out. I wish I tried everything you guys had suggested that I didn't already try, and none of them led to it. But there were a couple people that said maybe it is just a busted keyboard. So you were right. Seems like if it's just a busted keyboard. And I had an epiphany, and I'm really stupid because I probably should have had it way later. I've had 3 laptops. I have had broken keyboards on all 3 laptops. So I think it's just me and the amount that I'm using the keyboard that busts the keyboards.
Well,
But
also,
Or a
how many
typer.
keyboards have you broken on your desktop
I
too?
mean, didn't your typing
I
keep
have
Nicky Hill
gone.
awake one night?
I have gone through a couple keyboards
That
on
was actually
desktops, too.
his laptop battery that kept me
The
awake.
keyboard I got now, less than I used it for less than a year and it already broke. So
Well, I don't think it was this one. Your prior laptop, yeah, like the A and the S buttons.
yep. So here's where we are. Everything seems good. Thank you for your patience, but we should be good to go. No worries anymore. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I got to the point where I was like, let me ask a local guy, I guess, and I got in touch with him and I told him the problem, and he's like, yeah, I could come to you or you could bring it to me. And I'm like, yeah. The first email I asked you how much, you didn't answer me. The second email, can you tell me like what your rates are? And it's like $50 an hour. And I was like, no, thank you. So he's looking for, like Mom Braid said, and other people have said, he's looking to scam old people, basically be like, oh yeah, that's $50 an hour. And he's like,
Maybe he knows his
$30
worth.
for every new driver and $20 for every new Windows installation. I was like, you're a piece of garbage. So I didn't go with that. And I was determined that either I would fix the issue or I'd break my computer trying to do it. So thankfully,
inflation.
Nice. Let's dox this guy.
no. But anyway, you also very, very quickly, then we got to get the news. You went to Walmart to get the keyboard, but you also bought the ingredients for
I don't remember.
the Frosty.
Oh yeah.
There's that guy on TikTok who
Oh, is
gets
this-
all the corporate recipes. I don't know if he actually
Oh.
does or not. He had a recipe for a Frosty, and he said it's the one that they use.
For the record, it's chocolate frosty, which I recognize as the only frosty flavor. But in
Anyway,
case-
we don't need this
I think I
elitist
saw. I
garbage.
think I
We're-
saw
we're
one
sharing
recently. It's
important
only like
information.
4 ingredients or something.
Chocolate milk, sweetened condensed milk,
and Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. She made it indistinguishable
I'll
from
pull
a
it out of
Frosty.
the freezer because it's frozen solid, but I'll pull it out.
We both drank. I drank it, and I was like, I would
you mean like a
never guess
gallon
this
of it?
wasn't a real
That's
Frosty.
awesome.
She
Yeah.
tried
Like you
it,
just
said
took
the
the whole
exact same
thing,
thing.
or
I used a
half-
quart.
Okay.
But between all of the stuff, it
builds.
it's heavy. Like you can't.
So there's
drink,
your
like a ton of it.
look it
Watching.
up online,
And
guys,
I
if you
actually
want to
thought
try
about
it.
using like oat milk or almond milk or soy milk, but
It probably changes it, right? A little bit. I
it
don't know.
might. So I thought for the next, like let
Yeah.
me do the first one.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look it up online, guys, if you want to try it, because you got to get the
I
measurements.
I know you don't like almond milk, but calorie-wise, that's probably
yeah.
the safer bet for.
Who doesn't like almond milk, huh?
Well,
I
it just-
like it. I just don't like its impact.
Yeah, it's not.
Again, Cool Whip,
Cool.
sweetened condensed milk, chocolate milk. That's your 3
Oh.
ingredients. I can't tell you the amounts, but you can find it easily online.
That's
If you're a
different than what
Frosty
I saw.
fan, it's incredible.
The one that I saw.
Hi,
was just like
Anastasia Beaverhazen. All
some
right.
vanilla and some things you put in there. Stir it up.
Squirtle.
Let's get to news. Mom Brain, can you hear me with the news jingle, please?
I did it.
Yes, Blunders, you're right. Also known as the heart attack drink. We're doing it all.
Oh, and then you mix in a little bit of cold brew or something, and you got the cold brew
yes.
frosty.
Well,
That-
they
or
did
no,
their
no, no.
own. They did
No.
their own.
You make espresso and the affogato with that, basically.
I was also thinking, what if I,
wanted
put
to
it?
put in some coffee, but I forgot.
What if I also have extra leftover sweetened condensed milk if you want like one of the
Mm.
like espresso
Yeah.
with just say the word.
Mm.
I've had a lot of coffee today.
I'm also
Found it.
thinking, well, we could do it with decaf crystals if you want.
Mm.
If I made it the frosty stuff and put it in like ice
My
cube
mouth.
trays, you could use it as ice cubes for like a cold brew or
Oh, so
That's
know-
essentially like what they do then. right?
yeah. Is anybody else on like Ice Cube TikTok?
We're
no, but I'm
we're
intrigued.
we're pushing it on.
Okay, after
Super
show.
No,
Gross
let her talk.
Conversation. After you can you save it for after show? You sure?
Oh,
Remember
sorry.
Ice
Yeah.
Cubes?
We clicked the button.
I mean, it's fine if we do. It's fine if we don't.
Well,
fine.
we're at like an hour of
Yeah, it's
just
cool, man.
nonsense.
Tune in
not
next
that
week
I
for
mind, but I
the
don't-
week's
I don't want to harass people
Nintendo
too
news.
much. Here we go. We have the UK software sales for December 2023. I believe there's going to be some other software sales charts, so I'll torture you guys with guessing later. I'll give you this one. Starting with number 10, what do we got for the most popular games in the UK, all platforms for 2023? So the games that
Harry Potter.
people went after. Oh, you're guessing? All right, that's
Oh.
fine. You want to guess? Go for
I
it.
had to guess by myself last
Yeah.
week. I failed right away. Thank God. But
Hogwarts Legacy is number 3. Yes.
Cool. Done.
Okay, that's
What's
fine.
the rest?
Number 10, Nintendo Switch Sports. Number 9, Rat Hat Redemption 2. Number 8, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Number 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 6, Spider-Man 2. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. 3, Hogwarts Legacy. 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And number 1, EA Sports FC 24. As I always say, remember, no matter what chart, UK, US, Japan, does not matter. Nintendo never reports digital numbers in these charts. So when you see a Nintendo game on the list, that is for physical copies only. So the actual number is considerably higher. But still, those are the games people were pairing with systems when they were getting them or giving them as holiday presents at the end of the year in the UK. Switch
Ooh,
Sports, Mario Kart, Mario Wonder, it all makes sense. Hogwarts
Nice
Legacy has been
holiday.
killing it.
for some little British boys. Father Christmas came in.
Just short of 500,000 consoles in general
would
were
punch
sold
Father Christmas.
Punch his beard off.
That's it. Punch his beard off.
in the UK. Some TikTok kid.
Who?
It's a TikTok.
I'm
thing.
sure
Oh.
you've seen them.
500
yes.
just short 500,000 unit consoles were sold in the UK for December. That's up 2% over November and up 7% year on year. PS5 was the number one console in the UK, but sales fell 19% month over month. Switch was number 2 console for the month, and sales were up 39% over November. Finally, the poor Xbox was number 3, but sales were up 6% month over month.
Butt sales.
Butt sales. 6.9 million digital and physical games were sold in the UK during December. That's up 2% over last year. Hogwarts Legacy and Super Mario Brothers Wonder were particularly popular as Christmas titles, so says the report. And December was the strongest month for Mario Brothers Wonder since its launch. So you got October, November, December. Obviously, big holiday sales there for Wonder. Not a surprise. People bought a Switch and bought Wonder or gave Wonder as a gift to Switch owners already. So we all knew that was going to have a long tail and do big during the holiday season, and that's exactly what happened. Moving on. We live in an era where Sony talks about The Legend of Zelda because Sony and Nintendo are working together on a Legend of Zelda movie. And Sony was at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show.
They still do that, huh?
During their keynote, Sony's CEO, Kenichiro Yoshida, took the stage to talk about a whole bunch of things, including The Legend of Zelda. He talked about the movie and how they're partnering with Nintendo to make it happen. And he says, quote, "It will be an amazing tale of adventure and discovery." It is so funny to me. I know it's Sony and they don't just do
Starring
video games.
Tom
but
Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
As Tingle. They
No, Mark Wahlberg's going to be Zelda.
Mark Wahlberg's gonna
Blake, what are you doing here? Say hello to your
blind
mother for me.
Tingle.
Huh?
That's I
Got
don't
it.
like that ethnic tingle. I better blind him. It's just it'll tickle me to no end that Sony, in any shape or form, is talking about Nintendo and doing so in a positive light. So we don't have any like specific details on the film or any of that. None of those details have come out yet. Who knows when they will? But according to their CEO, it will be an amazing tale of adventure and discovery.
Did you edit that photo? That
I
thumbnail?
did. I did. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
like
good.
it. Thank you. It's one of my favorite Link faces ever.
And,
And-
you made it. You put it out of focus and stuff for that.
I
it
did.
looks like it
Yes.
was like really there.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
better-
you. I tried.
I'm not going to say anything.
Go ahead.
That's better than some of the Marvel special effects that we
Oh,
see these
there it
days.
is.
You know what I'm saying?
Um,
No offense
it
to the
took-
effects artists. We know you're on a limited schedule
this took
and you're
me
underpaid.
all of 2 minutes, I would say. Blur filter and
We gotta get you. We gotta get you talking to those special
So
effects
what is
guys
it
on
about
YouTube.
certain things, because like I compliment you all the time, and you are loath to take a compliment. But there's something about this that you're like,
Well,
thank
look
you
at
very
it.
much. I'm very proud of. Like,
it's
what is
only
it about
because
this?
I was particularly proud of
I
this
know,
one.
but what it
Like that
what
looks
is-
really
like you
legit.
did it in 2 minutes. I mean, it looks great. But like, why are you particularly proud of this? But you kill a whole team in Fortnite and win the game for us, and I'm like, great job. And you're like, yeah, it was a team effort. You know, like why you?
Well,
why can't
because
you just be
that's
like,
true.
I'm
Because
the king.
this wasn't a team
No, no,
effort.
no.
Tell us.
This wasn't a team effort. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's so.
Well, I mean, one could argue it was because if I hadn't bought you that keyboard,
How
you
about
This
probably
was
wouldn't
on my
have been able to.
desktop. This was on my desktop. Thank you.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Way to steal my
no,
thunder.
There's no way ever you'll ever get me to say anything about Fortnite because I don't care if you spend the whole game dying. It's a team effort. And when I say literally everything that was supposed to happen happened, I mean that because everything influences everybody else. And exactly everything we all did in any Fortnite game, if we win, it's because all of us. I don't care what you did. Like it's
Well, I care what you did.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll do a better job of being more receptive to the praise,
Just
but I
take
will
the
still
praise,
say
Godmaster.
it's a team effort. Man, that game! I can't wait to talk about that game. It was so crazy.
You should put that video of you in the Discord. There's an amazing play you made last night.
I
It's
have
awesome.
never wished we recorded a full game more than that game because I'd love to see all 4 of our perspectives for that game because we all went through different levels of insanity. But anyway, yes, there's a website called remove.bg.
YouTube.
And it takes whatever is in the forefront, so to be this guy, and makes it a PNG. So it removes everything behind him easily. So then you can easily put something behind it. And I went to something else to do that. But remove.bg, it's great. Use it if you want to make stupid stuff. Use it. It's free. It does a great job. But yes, I was particularly proud of that image
Yeah,
because
I
I thought it
mean-
came out well, but more because I think it's funny. So-
It's funny because he's praising Nintendo and Zelda, and like Link is given a look like you always hated us.
it's
Why
one of
are
my
you-"
favorite Link
But I
faces. Plus,
also-
it's blurred because he's on stage
it
and
would
he's
be
got
on
a screen
in the
behind him, and it would
background.
be
That's
blurred.
why I thought it was real.
There's layers. There's
Especially
layers,
in
I
like
know.
the smaller thumbprint, it looks real, and it's just funny that like that's the face that they choose
I
to
wish
be on
he
the
was
screen
giving a
behind
PowerPoint
him, you
with
know?
like a giant Link face. Like,
Yeah, right. That's the picture
This
they put
is-
up for
yeah.
Link's face for
Zelda,
the movie.
The Zelda movie is going to be magical. Here's a screenshot from a 20-year-old
Here's
Zelda
Skyward
game.
Sword. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That's all they said about the movie. But we'll hear more from Sony about the movie going forward. Currybo says the CEO who wants your money hypes things to get your money. Yep, that's how it works. Hey, if you're not going to be your own cheerleader, then who the hell's going to be your cheerleader? You gotta play it up. All right, now I am torturing you guys at the table.
Give it to us.
Do not look at the list.
I will not.
Did you already?
I didn't.
Okay. Top 10 games in the UK for 2023. Mom Brain, please
Easy.
listen. It is all games, all platforms.
All the
We're just
time.
looking for the top 10. I have the top 20. I always want the top 10. Again,
What was
one
the
more
list you
time.
just did?
The UK.
The list you just did was the UK for just December?
Yep, this is the UK. All of 2023. All platforms. Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox, you name it.
Including the PC.
Yeah, nobody's buying boxed
Oh,
PC
okay.
anymore, but sure,
I
it's
was
in
just-
there. It's there.
I was trying to think of something that wasn't possibly
Physical.
wouldn't be in
Engage.
it. and, like-
Engage would not be.
Physical?
Physical and digital combined.
Okay.
As always.
Okay, all right. But
Begin.
Nintendo's
Music.
digital is not.
That is correct.
Taken
Nintendo
into
will be
account.
on this list, but their digital sales
So this
are
also
not
includes like
accounted
Apple TV games and Amazon things.
for.
What's that called?
No.
Or Google, what was that one?
Nope. Nope. And nope.
Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's PC. That
Okay.
counts.
Okay.
So who's starting?
Mom Brain, you start.
Yeah.
Redemption.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, number 2, Nicky Hill.
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
That's a
Yes,
good
number
one.
9.
That's a good one.
Do.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes, number 5. Back to Mom Brain.
Minecraft.
It's. I was gonna say it's gotta be on here. I've scanned the list twice. It's not on here. I'm so sorry, Mom Brain. No Minecraft. You're out. Nicky, to you.
FIFA. What have you?
Great question. Great answer.
Remember, you are correct. It's not FIFA anymore. They don't have that license. It's
Oh.
EA Sports FC. And
Football
yes,
club.
that is football club. Yes, that's number 1.
I know all about sports.
There's
It's
no
not-
FIFA
it's not
at
foot
all
call?
on that list. Huh?
FIFA's done. There's no more FIFA games.
EA made FIFA.
No,
It
They
have
they've
to be
changed.
last year's FIFA.
And
But,
they'll-
you're
They'll
right.
take them out of the
Last
world
year's
too.
FIFA is on there. So
That's what I was going to say next.
okay. Well, then back to you, Nicky Hill. FIFA. Yes.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Good answer.
Yes, number 11. Do.
I thought we were just doing top 10s, but okay, whatever. Red Dead
Well,
Redemption
if you get
2.
the 20, it still counts.
Rat Hat Redemption.
Yes, number 8.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Was that talked about?
That
yet?
was already said.
Call of Duty. What have you?
Yes, number 3. And if there's another one on this list, we are also counting that. But
Call of
there's
Duty
not.
Pro.
My turn.
Yes.
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil
Remake.
4 remake. Yes, number 15. Nicky Hill.
E-Ring Elden R. That was this year.
Doesn't have to be this year. It just has to be sold popularly this year.
Oh.
No. So, this is the clincher if you get
Perhaps that was the most
Mario Kart 8
it.
Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on the list.
Yeah.
Dew wins it. Nice job. Yes. I will
There you
go over
You've
the
won
ones.
a half-eaten
I
box of
already
vegan
ate
chocolates.
2. These are amazing.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think of the lemon and cheese thing?
I love the lemon part. There was a couple bites where I didn't even get cheese in it, but then
And
when
those
I
were the best bites.
but when I got the cheese in it, I was like, it adds a funk to it that I wasn't really keen
Mhm.
on.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, I'd give it a 6.5, 7.
Fair.
But I don't know. Lemon tarts, love them. This one, I really like it. It hit me hard. Like I started like the old back
She
of the
lemoned
throat.
it up big time, and I like that. Yeah. Speaking of Cheez-Its, by the way, bacon Cheez-Its are out now. I want to try them.
Okay.
And extra crunchy Cheez-Its are a thing now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Just some.
They're
Extra
supposed to
baked.
be like flaky, you know? Like
I'd try them. I'd try 'em. You missed number 20, which is Grand Theft Auto Online. Number 19.
How is that a separate?
Oh,
game?
you should have given them that too.
Well, there's 2 Grand Theft Auto games. One they support and one they don't.
Dang.
Number 19 is F1 23. Number 18, I'm offended none of you guys got it. WWE 2K23. Number 17, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Number 16, NBA 2K23. Number 14, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yo, did you guys see the Assassin's Creed logo thing?
Number 10, Diablo 4.
No. Don't you dare.
I don't know.
If
what
you
you're
look
talking
at an I think it's like a hawk's skull or an eagle's skull.
I didn't know this.
From like bottom up, looking up into the skull, and then you take just like the silhouette of that. That's the Assassin's Creed logo.
Well, isn't like a bird a big part of the first one or something?
Oh
Don't you have
yeah,
a
you
bird or something?
go.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
like
don't remember.
Everything is permitted. That's all I remember.
Number 10, Diablo 4. Number 7, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Number 6, Spider-Man 2. And then you got everything else. Nice job, you guys. 38 million games were sold in the UK during 2023. Again, not including Nintendo's digital. That's an increase of 2.6% year over year. We need to do that. There are other games within the top 10 that are notable. Mortal Kombat 1 was number 30. Sonic Superstars was number 63. And Just Dance was number 81. PS5 was number 1 in terms of hardware. Sales were up 55% year over year. William, I see that. I will get it to it in a second, I promise. Switch was number 2 with a drop of sales 17% year on year. And Xbox somehow was number 3, and Xbox sales dropped 14% year over year. Poor Microsoft. They just can't get it. 2.3 million consoles were sold in the UK last year. Gives you an idea of how big the UK is in terms of video game sales. 2.3 million consoles sold in the entire year in the UK. We do like 3 million in a month here. So it just, I'm not saying like UK sucks. I'm just putting the size difference in perspective there.
Okay, what's going on?
There you go. All right. So I saw something in the Discord. Hi, Tater Tot. Good to see you.
Hey, be quiet.
we heard that there's another birthday in the house.
William says, it's my partner's B-day. Would Josh be able to bless her with his voice later? Not later, now.
I'm
No,
the star of the show.
derail.
We need
It's a birthday.
need a copy of the birth certificate so we know.
Josh never derails the show. Happiest of birthdays for however old you are now, or however old you want to pretend you are.
And many more.
George? Wow.
Make sure that microphone is really.
What an honor. Yeah, I made sure it was in the right spot when I moved him over there.
George, what was that?
It sounded like he wanted to say something but had nothing in his brain.
$5,000 is on the line.
George!
All right.
Wow.
Moving
Did you
on.
know you can play Tetris for free on
You started it, George.
Tetris.com?
Yes, you can play for
Did
free.
you know you can
Did we
win
talk
money
about
just
this?
for
I'm sure you
playing
guys did at some
Tetris?
point.
$5,000.
Are there
A kid
limes?
beat
On a
Tetris?
Are there limes in
Right.
Suica?
Somebody played darts?
I don't
No.
think
There's
so.
lemons, but not limes.
No lemon or no limes.
No lime.
Sorry, George.
And there's no lemons.
Are there
either.
lemons? I don't know
believe
of any
there's
lemons.
Oranges. But that's.
Yeah, there's no lemons.
It's a shame. Sorry, George. Also, sorry about Ivy the kiwi too. 'Cause That's,
Yep,
that's not a lime.
no lime-fronted video games that I can think of. There's games with limes in it for sure, but
How about the 7-Up game where you play a spot?
gonna say.
It's like lemon lime.
yeah, and they had a Fido Dido game too. He was their mascot for a while, so there's lime representation. We got a rumor, but not really a rumor because of the source it comes from.
But is this one true?
Yes, I would say this one's true. It is a rumor. I want to be clear, but the source is very reputable. This is Christopher Dring. He works for Games Industry, and he does a lot of their analysis. Like he's in the know. He said You know how
Drink your milkshake up.
Nintendo has worked with, like Nintendo worked with Brace Yourself Games to allow them to do Cryptid and Necro Dancer. Like Nintendo had input on that, or I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah, that was
Cadence
fun.
of Hyrule. Cadence of Hyrule. Nintendo had input on that game, but largely Brace Yourself Games led development on that. And Nintendo has done tie-ups like that before. Well, Mr. Dring hears that Nintendo really likes doing that stuff. So they are talking to 3 different companies right now to work on Nintendo IP. Pretty much like, I don't know if the third party is like, hey, we got an idea for your IP, or Nintendo's like, hey, we would like you to do this with our IP because we think you'd be better at it than we would. So I don't know which way it goes, but rumor has it Nintendo is working with 3 companies to make games. And obviously, if they're doing that now, they would be for the Switch's successor and not for the Switch. So I'm down for that kind of stuff. And again, could be a mainline installment for all we know, or it could be some sort of wacky spin-off like Cadence of Hyrule was.
Who would
Got
you
no
like
idea.
to see them work with, RMC?
Well, they've already worked with WayForward, but I would love for them to work with WayForward again because I love WayForward. Who would be a good fit for Nintendo to work with? I feel like I got names and I'm completely blanking.
My body is ready.
Yeah, stick them with Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Yacht Club would be awesome. Of course it would. Of course, I would think that because it's developers that originally worked at WayForward. So why wouldn't I think that? Who else would I like them to work with? Third party. None of the big third parties that I can think of.
Well, Grasshopper.
That would be fun, but I don't know what the hell they would do.
Or I mean, they also work pretty well with. I don't know what their name is now. Platinum.
Oh, they work with them a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've done Star Fox, not Star.
This is new. 3 new studios.
We don't
or-
know. 3 studios is all we know. But he wouldn't be writing the story if it was Platinum or ones that they've already done it with. It would be like Brace Yourself Games would be a good example, even though they've worked with them. They only did one thing and nobody saw that coming. So I feel like it's a great question, and there's one that's like right on the tip of my tongue that I'm just blanking on completely.
What about like I can't remember the names now.
Got a game?
Yeah, like Professor Layton.
Level 5.
Yeah.
That'd be a great one. Yeah. Work with them on something. Sure. Level 5. That used to be Level 5's bread and butter. They would work with a lot of other companies to make games. Like they would do Dragon Quest for Square Enix, and they'd partner with other companies. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm down with that idea. How about we get the old band back together? Nintendo and Capcom work on a new Zelda again. That'd be fun. Like a throwaway, not a throwaway, but
I
like
would
a
love a
2D Zelda.
But has
That'd be
Capcom
awesome.
made anything new recently?
Capcom?
Yeah.
New.
I just hope it's not like. Maybe I didn't get the whole partnership in new Nintendo games. I don't know. Like I don't necessarily want like partnerships and then they're just gonna like port things over or just
This
like,
is not a port. I need to stress that. This would be a new installment in an established franchise, be mainline or spin-off. That's what it would be.
And it's definitely
oh
established.
Nintendo IPs. That's what you said.
Yeah, Nintendo's going to these companies to say, hey, would you like to work with this? We think you'd be good with it.
But it
Team
says
Ninja.
for new in your article title. It says for new Nintendo games. They just mean for new upcoming Nintendo games.
Nintendo wouldn't be like,
For
hey, we got a
future
new idea
games.
for a game, you make it. It's hey, we got a new idea for a Zelda game, you make it. Capcom games in 2023. Ace Attorney, not new. Street Fighter, not new. Mega Man, not new. Pragmata, brand new, did not come out. Ghost Trick, nope. Monster Hunter, no. Resident Evil, no. So there you go. The only one that would be 100% new did not end up coming out. So there's your answer on Capcom in 2023.
Is it just being held?
Huh?
Is it just like on a shelf somewhere? Like they're holding on to it?
It's not done. They
Oh.
are taking more time.
Okay.
There's no words there.
Got delayed. So there you go. Look forward to that. Currybo says Capcom Zelda Oracle remakes now and Golden Sun. Well, Currybo,
That would be nice.
little did you know that 4 days ahead of time you predicted that Golden Sun was going to come out. So, well, I mean, we knew, but we didn't know when. They originally announced it months and months ago when they're like GBA for the Switch. Now we finally know when, but you called it, my friend. You got it.
Congratulations.
So, yes, I'm sure plenty of people would love to see. How would you feel about remakes of Oracle of Ages and Seasons? Do you want them now? Because you're
I would love them.
okay.
Yeah, love them.
Then you would still want them. Then
I'd
yeah.
rather have. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather have a new 2D experience at this point, since I'm kind of nearing the end of ages, but we'll talk about that.
We will. We also have another rumor about the Switch's successor. There's a Taiwanese economics site that they claim they have some information. Do they? I don't know. That's why we mark it as rumor. They have some tech specs on what they believe to be the successor to the Switch, whatever that ends up being, as well as price talk.
Why are they allowed to release this stuff?
Because
if it is true.
If it is true, this is coming from a Taiwanese economics site. So they are not breaking any embargo. It would be whoever gave them the information.
But who gave it to them? We don't know.
Manufacturers?
Probably they're spiders.
Oh
They're
my
spider
goodness.
supplies, yeah.
I need to get their spiders and flies
They're an
working for me.
economic site, so they have ties to manufacturers and their supply lines. So that's where it's coming from. But here's what they said. It's going to have an NVIDIA T239 processor. Will have 8 gigs of RAM, so that would be double what the Switch has, I think. 64 gigs of storage. Quote, greatly improved, end quote, battery life. So whatever is greatly improved to you, what you get out of Switch now, 3 to 5. So 6 to 7, I don't know. 120 hertz screen refresh rate. That would certainly be nice. That does make a very noticeable difference. And a price of $400, which is $50 more expensive than the Switch OLED. So it makes sense to me. I would like it to be lower, obviously, but it makes sense. There you go. And they're saying the $400 price tag because, you know, anybody that's making electronics now is getting killed because the things that you need to make them are incredibly expensive and are only going up. So that's the world we live in. That's why the PS5 and the Xbox Series came out and then the prices went up because that's how it. That's
why
just
are we
the
still
way
paying
it
so
is.
much when we got them made by little slave kids? I mean, what are the overheads? Right?
Because the conflict minerals still they cost so much because people keep dying trying to get them. So you got to just find more people. It's the turnover is
If
horrible.
you can find a better way to get ice, I'd like to hear it.
Wouldn't that be cheaper? You don't have to pay the people. I mean, I don't like talking about this. This is
You are paying. Don't worry, Nicky
It's
Hill,
free.
because
Because
we
you have to
all
pay the
use
families. You have to pay the
everything
families.
in our multiple things in our daily lives use conflict minerals, and we'll never get away from them. So unless you go off the grid
No,
completely, you're part
but
of
I
the
shouldn't
problem.
make light of it. So I apologize for that.
Well, you know, it's so sad. You gotta laugh. That's not the
So
saying.
bring
but
it
you get
on.
what I'm saying. So bring it on. Exactly. That's my point. That's not my point. You gotta laugh because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Totodial says
I might have eaten the last one.
Totodial says 120 hertz screen refresh sticks out as being unbelievable, unless games will be running at higher than 60 frames per second. Or maybe Nintendo got a good deal on a bunch of screens and they just happen to be 120 hertz. Hey, let's hope that part is true, because I do think that makes a notable difference. That refresh rate is... I don't think your average person would know like that, and that's not meant as a knock. I just don't think, it's just like the average person watches TV and they don't notice like motion smoothing is on or something like that. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. That's not something they perceive or care about or even think about. But, other people, you go over to your parents' house and you're like, you got motion smoothing on this TV. I can't stand it.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. It looks like we're actually in the TV.
So, like, we got motion smoothing on in our TV in the living room because there's a stutter issue with my TV's refresh rate and the Apple TV 4K. So I'd rather there not be a stutter, and I'll take the weird smoothing. So what are you gonna do? But again, the vast majority of people, A, don't know that stuff exists. B, don't care. C, would never see that it's there to begin with. So it don't matter. It don't matter. So when you're elitist and you go over somewhere and you're like, I can't believe you're using motion smoothing. Those people are watching what's on TV. They don't care. They want to see Fox News and they don't care that motion smoothing is on. Sorry. We got a rumor about another Nintendo Direct, but it's not really a rumor because you know what? Nintendo always has a Nintendo Direct in February. And the rumor here is Nintendo's going to have a Direct in February. You know who that rumor comes from, Deux?
Dring?
No.
Jeff
your
Keighley?
favorite.
Jeff Knight.
Oh, Grub.
Mr. Grubb. He says you can always count on a Nintendo Direct in February. It is almost certainly going to happen in February again. Yeah. Not really news. It's happened for so many years now. We all expect it. There were some rumblings it would happen in January. We're almost halfway through January. We'll see if maybe we get an early one. Who knows? But you know what happens now, because we don't know for sure. but it seems very likely that 2024 will be, at the very least, the year we find out about the Switch successor. Many would argue that it will be the year it comes out. I don't know, but I think at the very, very, very least, we will see the Switch successor this year. So when you have rumors of a Nintendo Direct, people are like, they're going to show the Switch successor. So you mark my words, when Nintendo doesn't show it, people are going to say, worst Direct ever, when Nintendo will give no indication that they are going to talk about the successor to the Switch at all. So expectations in check, people. You guys watching this show or listening to it, you're all better than that. You already know. You are all level-headed, wonderful people. So I'm talking to the wrong people. But tell your friends or your family or your internet denizens that they need to keep their wits about them and not go full steam ahead on the hype train. Streaks.
I feel like we've been pushing back, saying like, "Oh, this is the last great game for the Switch," and then Tears of the Kingdom comes out and it's like, "This is the last great game for the Switch," and then Wonder comes out and it's like, "No, this is the last great game
And
for
we
the
had
Switch."
Pikmin 4 in between those two.
Yeah, so I think this we're probably not going to see.
well,
We'll
we
see an
already know.
announcement, but not.
We already know it's not. Because again, January 19th.
Yeah.
Another
Another
code
code.
recollection. And then after that, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, one people have been waiting for. And then after that, Princess Peach Showtime is in March. Will that be good? I don't know. Looks good. Streak says, I'd be more surprised if we don't get a direct than we do. Yeah. We're getting a direct.
It's
Let me show you
Showtime.
something. What I do.
Yes.
Princess Peach Showtime, but not like Showtime After Dark, right?
Or as Raw Meats ants call it, SHO.
based on the ESRB rating, I will say no.
Yeah.
Because it is rated E. I think it might be E10 actually. So
I used to stay up
maybe
late
some
to
knee.
watch Showtime.
So did I. I watched Emmanuel go through space and time many a time.
Oh, Manuel.
Uh,
Manny Mo. We love him.
Emmanuel.
Webster,
Is that where,
Emmanuel.
Red Shoe Diaries was on Showtime too.
Yes, it was.
What was the one about the guy? Like,
More like White Cream Diaries, am I right?
it was like about his life.
right? Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, Californication.
No,
I know what she's talking about. Dream On.
Dream On.
Dream On.
That's what it was.
That
Was that-
wasn't
that was
porn,
HBO.
though. That was
That was
like a-
HBO. Or you can watch it. It's probably on Max.
Yeah, that wasn't porn, though. That just had nudity. Like,
Well, it was.
I
It
mean,
was like a.
But I was like a little kid.
No, but so that
it's
was
like saying Sex in the City.
that was
is
a
porn.
that was a
Sex in the City.
cable-
Sex and the City.
cable TV sitcom. So it was like regular sitcom that you'd see on Fox or ABC or something, but like amped up.
It was
So
before
for kids, that was like, oh my gosh!
It was before HBO.
I don't think I ever
became
saw anything, but like,
known for their prestige shows or any of that. Like that was the beginning of that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. That and the Gary Shandling show, and there's another one I'm forgetting. But yep, all that stuff in there. Hey guys, remember 2 weeks ago when Nintendo hit an all-time high with their stock?
I do.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
this will
old
probably
news.
last forever. Well, 2 weeks later, it's already broke. It's crazy. Nintendo stock has once again hit a new high for the company's history. Highest point in company history ever. It went up. When was this? This was on the 10th. Their stock went up another 5%, which took it to 7,900 yen. And it marks the first time Nintendo's market capitalization topped 10 trillion yen. And their previous high point. We did all that stuff. But their previous peak came at the end of 2023, which we covered just a couple weeks ago, and that was at 7,300 yen. So it beat that pretty. What's the word?
quickly.
No.
Significantly?
Okay.
Handily?
Handily. I was gonna say handedly, and that's not. I was like, that's not it, but it's close. Handily,
Handily
is the word.
word?
Yes. So there you go.
What
A
does
new
handily
record.
mean?
Like
easy, like
yeah.
quick, easy.
It wasn't like, oh, they just eked by. That
Yeah.
it was like they
solid.
yeah, it was solid. Yeah,
Swimmingly.
pretty solidly. So again, this was based on how good the Switch did at the end of the year, how good software sales were, the incredible success of the Mario movie, and now on top of all that, the speculation of the Switch successor. Investors are like, here we go. So mark my words, when the Nintendo Direct happens, down, stock down, always.
Like not just down,
way down.
like
yeah.
plummet.
Nintendo's
It's gonna-
doomed.
It's
down.
gonna
yeah. The status quo for Nintendo, of course.
And then it'll take if it's gonna go back up, it's gonna take like a significant amount of time.
Something is
years.
looming.
Great username here. Winnie the Shite says, oh yes, I also mentioned the article that that Saudi Arabia's what's it called, public investment firm, public investment fund. Saudi Arabia has this public investment fund where they're investing in anything that makes money, literally anything. Video games, movies, TV shows, sports. They're doing all of it. So they're dipping their toes in like everywhere, like 5% here, 7% there, like a lot, and they keep upping stuff. So this is what Winnie the Shite's comment is in response to. They say, Saudi Arabia's public fund gaining more Nintendo is real concerning. They're up at almost 9% ownership of the entire company. They've been aggressively buying in for a couple of years now to increase their position from almost nothing. They're the single largest shareholder already, and they're still buying. Soon they're going to have the controlling stake. And in my opinion, at that point, Nintendo might actually be over. This is, this public investment fund is the majority stakeholder in multiple game companies. I just want to make that clear. It's not just Nintendo. It's like 7 to 10 different big name video game companies. So, this is what they're doing. And could it get to that point? It might. I mean, look at what happened with golf. I'm not getting into the whole political side of things, but
they're the majority stakeholder in these companies, or like
golf is
No-
theirs.
no,
now.
but like, are they the second biggest? Like they don't own.
What are you asking me about Nintendo?
They don't
golf
have-
or everything.
for all the other game companies
No,
and stuff? Like
they're
they don't
not.
have any control.
They don't have the majority.
right.
They're the biggest stakeholder in some of them. They don't have the majority. With golf, with the PGA, they are.
Right.
PGA is their thing now. At least the last what I heard. And I am a big sports guy, but I might be wrong. So, but because I was talking to some family about that, because there are a few big golf fans, golf heads as they call them, and I was getting their thoughts on that. So.
I also just want to circle back real quick. Tater Tot mentions the what we were referencing is the Princess Peach in the scrambled picture. Although although late night showtime
Oh.
wasn't scrambled for me, but yes, those higher cable channels. were
Yes,
scrambled for
eventually
me.
they were not scrambled for me. I will not say I was beyond watching scrambled things back in the day, but yes, there came a time when they were unscrambled. And what a time it was. We have seen reports, and they have been verified not by Nintendo, but other outlets and other retailers, that some Switch games are out of print physically. So if you find a physical copy now of any of these games and you've been wanting it, buy it, because they are not being printed anymore. Will they be printed again? I don't know. I reached out to Nintendo for comment on this, and I said, hey, here's this thing. Could you give us a statement? No statement yet. Sometimes Nintendo gives me a statement, and when they don't give me a statement, it means they don't want to talk about it. So my understanding right now is they don't want to talk about it. So that can mean one of two things. These games are out of print and they're not coming back, or they're going to do a reprint with a Nintendo Selects or Player's Choice, whatever nomenclature you prefer. So another run discounted. Could be either one. I don't know. But if you're worried about not being able to get these games physically, again, if you see them on shelves and you want it in your collection, buy it because they are out of print. Here are the games: Paper Mario, The Origami King, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, that is the 2019 Switch remake, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Metroid Dread, Kirby Star Allies, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Fire Emblem Three Houses, and Fire Emblem Engage, Yoshi's Crafted World, WarioWare Get It Together, Nintendo Switch Sports,
Get it together.
Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Maker 2, and finally Mario Strikers Battle League. So big titles, definitely, but you may have bought them digitally if you want physical, and you
Get them
see it,
physical.
get it, because prices are going to go up. And now that
Yeah, I love that. Like they sell well enough for them to never drop the price ever, and then they're just like, we're done. Like pull them.
well, they used to do Nintendo Selects or Player's Choice. They did it on the Wii. They didn't have any reason to do it on the Wii U. They might do it here. They could.
But they probably don't need to.
To counterpoint it, they don't need to because things are selling so well. So, but if they're out of print and they're like, there's a lot of people who are clamoring for this, then they would do a Player's Choice.
Or they're just
a
making
Nintendo Select one.
shelf room to release all these for the new Switch.
That could be it too. They could be
model.
saying, We don't need to do other runs of these because we can save money and put it towards Switch's successor.
Maybe.
Tendonin says, one imagines that physical games stop getting reprints all the time, and that it's been that way for as long as there have been physical games for sale. This is true, Tendonin. The strange part is actually hearing about it. Some of those are unsurprising. Odyssey and games from 2023 being on the list is very surprising. As long as nothing's getting pulled from the eShop, right? Nothing's getting pulled from the eShop. Now, one day, I'm sure the whole eShop will be gone.
One day.
But yes, now
get ya.
you're safe. But you are right in a sense that physical games always have an end to their print run. We just don't usually hear about it. You hear about it when people really care about the games, and Nintendo's first-party games are games people really care about and want to have physically. So yes, all the time games go out of print because that's how things work. You don't print a game forever, whether it's on CD, DVD, Blu-ray, or cartridge. You don't here until the end of time print copies of it. So
That'd be silly.
But
there
what you
go.
should do is like all those T-shirt companies on the internet. You just have like
Game
one person
cannons.
in charge of all, like they have, hard drives full of all these games, and then somebody makes an order, and you get an individual, like really, like they transfer it over, get an individual release, and then mail it directly to you. That would be awesome.
There you go.
About it.
You could do it.
Hey, Nintendo,
Not legally, but you could.
well, no, do it through the company.
Do it
so that
legally.
if people want it, they just order it directly from the company. So Nintendo, I'm available.
It's different.
I'll sit in a closet and do that.
Okay. All right. There you go. You heard it. He put in his resume. Well, I guess
You
not
know,
really.
like
He just
all-
said you do it.
The cartridges are all the same size, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta give me a
Not
little.
internally, but externally, sure.
Well, let's just go with all the big ones. That way we don't have to worry
They're
about
the priciest
size.
ones.
Well, get.
And then print them out.
I like it. I like what he's saying.
North
That way
America.
you always get what you want if
Nor-
you want it.
North America, what do we got this week? We got 8 Colors Star Guardians Plus, AAA Clock Extreme Ultimate, Brain Memory Ultra Special,
I understand.
Coin Rush, Coloring Book Complete Bundle, 410 drawings, Cooking Arena 4-in-1 edition, Crash.
Let's give you some music in the background.
Oh God, help me! Can I pick my own song? We'll go with this one this week. But if I'm gonna get a song, I don't want this.
Oh, maybe you want like this one?
Crash Metal Drift Racing Car Driving Simulator
Like we
Premium
need
Edition.
something that's like real farty and like bassy.
Crystal
Like,
Project, Dead by Daylight Gold Edition, Frog Song, Grotto, Hatland, Pixel Impossible Game Over, Kitten
Get on the
Hero,
game train for this week.
Legend of Grimrock, Light It Up Complete Edition, oh boy, how do I say it?
Light it up. Is that
Nephentheses.
like one of those movies with the hip hop competition in it or
Is
something?
it a Steinmeier brain? Light It Up? Royal Rumble? Light It Up.
No, is this
Aw.
Step It Up? Maybe is what I'm thinking.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm sweating.
End Golf, One Night Burlesque Extended Edition, Piano Learn and Play Magnificent Edition, Pixel Coloring Paint, Pixel Paint 2 Director's Cut, Shinorubi, Spin Rhythm XD Monster Cat Bundle, Sport and Fun Swimming Superb Edition, Ultimate Racing 2D2, Wild Seas, and then finally a free demo of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which
when
comes
does that
out
release?
next week. I want to say
macaroni.
I don't know, 17th, 19th. One
How-
of those is right.
How many clams we talking?
50.
Wow.
For
Is it
2Ds?
Is it
It's not 2D. It's side scrolling.
any physical
2D.
copies of that?
What does that mean?
Probably not.
Polygonal, but
Oh.
it's side scrolling. Huh? Yes, physical.
Fizzies.
All the physicals you could want. Yeah. And here's something you might be interested to learn.
I'm
It
listening.
is a lengthy game. So it's not like, 6 hours and you're done.
Lengthy.
It's like 20, 30 hours.
Holy smokes.
There you go. That's your North American releases. Joe Shabadoo says, did you guys know that End Golf backwards is flogging? We know now. And you know what else we know, Josh?
Not yet.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
He's good.
Sorry, what was that, Josh? Thank you, Josh. Thank you,
Why
everyone.
would you say that?
Glad to be back. Let's see. This is the week of January 11th, the year of our Lord, 2024. It's a new year for me. Happy New Year to you.
Perhaps a new year for all of us.
So this is what's coming out in Europe for that week. Let's get into it. 8
That's
colors,
incorrect.
Star Guardians Plus. Just in time for the holidays. All I Want for Christmas or Sub Game CE.
Mm-hmm.
That is incorrect.
Arcade Game Zone. Battlefront Trench Warriors Ops of Warfare. Bike Courier. Bistro Express Delivery. Bulldozer Tycoon Construction Simulator. Cafe Owner Simulator. Capitals Quizzer.
Oh God, sounds
What?
like something my dad would love.
Just it's all it is just the capitals of
Yep, that's all it is.
no way.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's
That-
Capitals Quizzer. What else could it be?
I know, but like that's just not
Well, you're
there's
reading.
not a
I'll
lot
look
to
it
it.
up.
Classic Games Puzzle Collection. Coloring Book Series Zoo. Dungeon Defense Simulator, Year of the Lord 2024. Gates of the Mind.
Capital Quizzers. Allow me to interrupt. Learn the capital cities of the world with this fun quick fire quiz game. There you go. Oh my God. You want to know how much it is?
Is it free?
It's free.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Really?
all about it then. You
Well,
go for it.
Yeah, then
I think that's a capital idea.
that's a good way to replace doom scrolling with micro learning, eh?
Yeah, if you're a dork.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. Until something happens and you get kidnapped and your kidnapper sits. They're like, "We'll release him, but we want to know what the capital of this country is, and then I'll know."
Trenton,
You
New
know?
Jersey.
And then I would say, if this is going to be a history thing, just put me out of my misery right now. Not
Just-
Missouri.
It's gonna
Missouri.
take one question. Anyway, listen, if you're in a position where you need to know your countries and capitals, it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Gates of the Mind, Geo Jelly. That sounds
Mhm.
exciting. Icarus and the Prince of Sin.
Can I at least talk to Geo first?
The Prince of Sin. Dear goodness. Military
I
combat
understand.
shooter desert war. Military combat shooter desert war.
Got it all in
Let's
there.
just string a bunch of words together. and,
Oh, I
got a
like
game.
this next one.
Milk seller. I don't know
With
if
an S or a C.
S, but I don't know if it's a simulator.
It's a
Doesn't-
cow simulator.
A cow going door to door. Hey, you want some milk?
I think it would sound
Oh,
like,
that would
"Hey,
be
you want some
great.
milk?"
It's
That's
a
not
it's a
selling.
it's
to
a-
be doing that for free.
it's a cow. No, it's a
cow
cow
fart.
in a trench coat in like, you know,
I really wish there was
like
a moo
back
sound effect.
alleys. And so when they open up the trench coat, they've got the udders and they're like, "Here, you want to see what we're selling?"
Okay.
Take a pull on my teeth.
So you get flashed and you get a product. I
Yeah.
like it.
We get flash, but then you got to pay for it.
And
My
you pay
Life
for it
Farm
by
Vet
saying what the capital of a state is.
and golf or flogging
Mm-hmm.
backwards. Nothing to Declare. Panorama. Reigns, Three Kingdoms. Shivering. Oh no. Why did that just reload? Shivering Stone. Stellar Interface plus Sudoku. Wow, my brain
Sounds
just
like they're
froze.
tooting their own horn over there.
Stellar Interface plus Sudoku Zenkai.
Beep beep.
The Jackbox Party Trilogy 3. 3 times the trilogy. The Monty Mole Collection. Is that a game show of some sort?
Oh, it's based on the full
It's an old
Monty.
British game. We don't really know about here, but you could get it now.
Monty Mole sounds charming as F. Wild Seas, and we've got 2 demos: Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Fugga. Melodies of Steel 2.
Can I sell you on Fuga Melodies of Steel 2?
Sorry, Fugga.
I'll tell you. You tell me when you're not interested. Well, it's
Stop
a
there.
sequel, so you're interested. It's 2, but lots of action, tanks, warfare,
I'm out. I'm not.
serious topics, furries.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's
So-
out.
sorry, I got out early. but
Yeah, it's like
I'm-
animals.
You know, I'm interested. What's the title of this game?
Fugga.
Dew's Cream Dream. It actually says right
Very
here.
funny. No, I was gonna.
Melodies of Steel 2. Let's just say
I'm
that's the
out.
title.
I'm out.
Oh, that's bad too.
The title.
Melodies of Steel 2. I'm dropping the Fuga because I know
Oh,
that's
okay.
getting you, but
Yeah. I'll take a melody of steel or 2 of them.
thank you, Nicky.
We
We
have
appreciate
a
it.
comment from Human Fart. Human Fart said, "Thanks, Nicky, or Deux, or Mom Brain, or."
Oh, you got the real McCoy today. It was Nicky himself. Guys, remember
Does Fuga
Yes.
stand for like furries under?
It is not.
Gratak?
There's no dots, so I don't think it stands for anything. You guys remember Gameshark?
How could I forget?
So when we were kids, there was Game Genie, and then Gameshark came along and did basically the same thing. You'd plug a cartridge into a Gameshark, and it would be like, get 50 million lives, or walk
bent.
through walls, or infinite ammo, all that stuff. And they did things later on with all that kind of stuff, and then they disappeared. But they're coming back. What are they doing now? They're working on something called AI Shark.
Oh
It's
my-
a, quote, revolutionary AI-enhanced technology that offers customized in-game hints for players. So it watches what you're playing and how you play, and then if you need help, it gives you help specifically based on what you're doing, how you play, and what would make sense to you best.
That sounds pretty invasive because it's watching what you're playing.
That's what all the systems do now anyway.
But
Switch,
I need to
Xbox,
just say,
PlayStation, they all do it.
I don't think I read the whole story, but I was walking my dog, and I went down to the
Okay.
update.
I'll go for this journey.
Well, because I was just like breezing over it, so I didn't see that it was renamed AI Shark. But I went down to the update, and it says Jason Schreier has received a statement from Al Shark, and I was like, "No way! Game
What a
Shark
cool
was
name.
made by a guy named Al.
Yep.
That's awesome."
Yep.
It's pretty good. Alfred
Um,
Shark.
So why are we talking about this thing? Well, their press release for this said that they plan to launch their service alongside the Switch 2 in September 2024. And everybody's like, whoa, what? Where? How are you just saying that? What's going on here? So whoever checked their press release or whoever wrote it was like, yeah, we'll say it's coming out when the Switch 2 is coming out September 2024. So obviously, every outlet that got this press release reached out to Gameshark and was like, what the hell is going on? How are you saying this? How do you know this? We know you don't know this. What's
Yeah.
going on here? And they eventually said they were, quote, just guessing, end quote. So does that mean they were just guessing and they actually were just guessing?
That's pretty good.
Or they actually said something they weren't supposed to and they're like, oh, we're
Give
just
me a
guessing. we're
break.
just guessing."
Wouldn't Nintendo like come down on them if it were true?
They would if they signed a deal with Nintendo, but they could have heard this from other people in the industry
Wow.
and they could say it. So
And also, if
I don't know.
Nintendo does, like, so they're backstepping or backtracking or whatever. If Nintendo does come down on them, it kind of confirms it then anyway, right? So like they don't
that is
necessarily
also
want
true.
to attack somebody or like come down hard on them because it'll show their
Yeah.
hand.
And then Alltech Lansing, the parent company, said that Nintendo has, quote, not officially clarified the launch, end quote, of Switch's successor. So I don't know, man. Take it as you will. Does AI Shark know something? It's
Sorry,
not
it's
crazy.
Al.
Does Al Shark know something? Did he talk to Al Newman? It's not crazy to think that
AI
a
Newman.
game industry company has ties to other game companies that might be privy to information about when the Switch's successor is launching. And somebody at Al Shark was like, oh, put it in the press release because they don't know. People don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But here we go. All that matters is let's see when Switch's successor comes out, because if it's September, we're going to be like, son of a bitch. Al Shark knew all those months ago.
I love that. I
That's so
just thought
funny.
the guy's name was.
Well, that's funny that you said that, because a similar thing happened to me. It was either this morning or yesterday. I read that Al Gore is stepping down from the board at Apple, and I read it because I saw Apple's name. I just in my head just said AI Gore, and then I wasn't thinking about Al Gore, and then I was like, "What's AI Gore? Like that sounds kind
AI
of like
Gore
it sounds like
ran
a
for
real
president?
thing." Like
They've got AI on the board over there now.
Human Fart says Gameshark. That's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time. I used the heck out of mine on the N64. I did too. When somebody borrowed somebody stole my copy of Banjo-Kazooie because they thought it would be funny, because they knew it was my prized possession, and they had a big laugh about it. And I said, "Why would you do that? That's very hurtful." And they eventually gave it back to me, and they said they kept it in a dresser drawer. It was safe. And I said, probably not safe because it would be too cold. And it was too cold. And I lost my save file. But I'm not bitter. I got it back with Gameshark. But
Why was it so cold in the dresser
man.
drawer
that wasn't me,
or
was it?
refrigerator
wasn't
drawer?
you? No.
Whew.
You
refrigerator?
were not the one
That
I
person's
think you were
initials
in on the
SV?
stealing, but you were privy to the stealing, but you did not do the stealing.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Because, back then my friends were like, here's this thing he loves. Let's take it from him. And that's what happened. And then they took the save file. And then, you know what? It didn't matter in the end because Rare never did the thing they said they were going to do. So it was all in good fun. But boy, was I angry, because I was like, now I got to trade in games to get a Gameshark that I'm going to use once to get this save file back. I don't remember what I traded in either.
If you just replayed games, you wouldn't be in that situation.
It's true. I could have replayed it. That's very true. And all it would have taken was
But the game's not
150 hours.
game's just not that fun to play again, I guess, right?
The
Armstead?
point was it was a save file with everything.
I
You had to
know.
do everything.
did it all,
Every
baby.
jiggy, every puzzle piece,
Well, don't,
every egg,
get
every
racist.
every level, every hidden everything, the ice key, all of it. You had to do it all. And they showed that teaser at the end, and it was like, you cannot let this save file get ruined. Somebody
Is that
found
what
that
they said?
information. They're like, I know. Yeah, I mean, the whole point was keep the cartridge in your save file because you're going to be able to use it in the sequel to unlock things. And I made the mistake of letting a friend know how important it was to me. Never again.
Well, that friend in particular.
How long
Moving
did
on.
you guys stay friends after that? You stayed friends.
We
You
did,
do
yeah.
something like that and just turn the other cheek.
I'm not ice cold. Forgive,
Well, apparently the cartridge.
but never
was.
forget.
Nice.
Oh.
We have the top 10 best-selling Switch. No, we have the top 10 best-selling games in Japan for 2023. I won't make you guys guess because I won't torture you. But for the last 19 years in Japan, Nintendo has dominated the top 10 best-selling games in Japan. They may have not taken up all the spaces, but they were the majority of the top 10. That's how it's been for the last 19 years. That includes this year, but it's a little extra special this year because the entire top 10 in Japan this year is Switch games. There is no PlayStation or Xbox game that managed to break into the top 10 for best-selling titles of the year. And I will give you the top 10. Starting with number 10, Super Mario RPG did 450,000 units roughly, and this is physical only. That just came out. Splatoon 3 did another 500,000 units. Dragon Quest Monsters 3, The Dark Prince, which came out in December, managed to grab number 8. That is a Switch exclusive, 510,000 units sold. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe did another 514,000 units sold. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did another 617,000 units this year
Wow.
in Japan alone. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did 900,000 units. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Number 5. Momotaro Dentetsu World, the train board game, which is extremely popular in Japan, did 800,000 units, basically. Then, as I said, 4 is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Number 3, baby, Pikmin 4, 1.1 million units. Good for you, Japan. Good for you. Super Mario Bros. Wonder takes the second place spot with 1.5 million units sold in Japan since October. Again, physical only. And our number one game, because the world's gone crazy, Tears of the Kingdom. Number one, literally the best-selling game in Japan all year is Legend of Zelda. What a time to be alive. What Breath of the Wild has done for the Zelda franchise in Japan is
Do you think
cannot be understated.
because of its popularity over there, do you think we'll see another Zelda game?
I think chances are good.
Oh,
Ask
baby,
IGN, they will
it's
say
exciting.
no. But
This is very exciting.
1.9 million units
care?
physical.
Why should we care? I mean, it's great. It's awesome.
Why should we care about what?
I know it's not popular in Japan most of the time, and it is here. So if no matter what happens in Japan with this game, they're going to be making Zelda games. So why do we care?
Why should we care? We're a Nintendo podcast. We'd like to see Nintendo do well.
I'm not saying obviously report it. I'm just saying, like, why are we so excited about it?
Is this the royal we meaning me, or are you asking in general people?
Like the four of us at this table, why are we so excited about?
You're not. I am.
Okay, never mind then.
You don't have to be excited. Why am I excited?
Sure.
Because this is unprecedented for Japan. Zelda in Japan has not been popular since A Link to the Past. And then it took Breath of the Wild to be like, hey, Japan, you should check out this franchise. And it did amazingly well. Now there's no other game in Japan that sold better than Tears of the Kingdom this year. That's insanity. To go from a franchise that Japan didn't care about to making it the number one best-selling game in a year with Mario and Pokemon.
Mario is nipping at its heels, and Mario was
Yeah.
released like 6 months later, though.
Yeah, Mario.
Well, they
will
love
surpass
Mario
it, yeah.
over there.
But you know what'll never, ever, 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 ever happen? It will not surpass Zelda as the best-selling game of 2023. It's impossible.
Well, because
That's what we're talking about here. The 2023
Zelda
list.
had a really
But
good
I'm just
head
saying it's
start.
not like this is great. The more people who love it, even better. But it's not like it's going to affect, the sequels coming out in the future. They're not going to.
It 100% does.
They're going to make it more Japanese.
Well, look at it like this. When a game sells poorly, it affects sequels, does it not? To the degree that they don't come out. When a game does really well, that affects sequels because you're like, people really like this game because of this, that, and the other thing. We have to explore that further down the road. So
we've talked about this earlier.
they see that they're resonating with
So
Japanese
it just
audiences with
means
this one.
we're never going to see a 2D Zelda again. That's what it means.
No, it doesn't mean that at all.
Well, we talked about that a couple months ago or something, where they're like, "We'll see what happens," but we were like, "Why would they go back to that?"
I'm not
They're
going to
gonna
say we
pool
will
their
never
resources
go back to a
to
2D
make it.
Zelda, but with Tears of the Kingdom selling so well worldwide, yes, they probably maybe that's why they're talking to one of the third parties that we mentioned earlier. Maybe they are saying, "Hey, we know this could do 2 to 4 million in sales. Maybe if there's a 2D Zelda, would you guys want to do one?" Maybe a company would. I'm sure plenty of companies would love to take a crack at that. Of course. Why wouldn't they? Work on a major IP, get a chance to do a Zelda with Nintendo overseeing it? Yeah, you would do that. So that'd be a great way for Nintendo to be like, give those fans what they want. We don't pay nearly as much to do it. And it's a company that gets a good amount of money to do it. And they want to do it. So
You know what they should do? They should do another dual Zelda game like the Oracle games, except make one 3D and one 2D. How amazing would that be if they linked up so you had released on the same day and the things you do in one do forget it.
that exists, but not in Zelda. Dragon Quest. I don't remember what one. A recent one.
Is that the one with the little
9
blue balls?
slimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They released a Dragon Quest that you play in 3D or 2D.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
it looks like an old school Super Nintendo RPG, or it looks like a traditional or a now polygonal 3D
Man,
RPG, and they're
good for
the
them.
exact same
A
game.
lot of work.
That is a lot of work, yeah. But what better way to support both sides of the fan base? Ones that want a more traditional look and feel, and ones that want 3D visuals. But you're getting the same game either way, same storyline, same characters, same enemies, all that. So that's a really, really, really cool idea that we don't. I don't know that we've seen another company do that.
I'm sorry. How? Because
How, what?
same game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's released two different ways. It's released two different ways.
No, it's all in one game. You just hit a button in the options menu. That's all you do.
Well, they do that with there's been a lot of games that did that with side-scrolling stuff, right?
I don't. This is the exact same game, beginning to end. that you either play
Yeah,
in
well,
2D
when
or
they
3D.
when they released Wonder Boy, it was like vintage
Not 2D,
characters.
3D though.
Oh, I guess not.
It's just
Monkey
overhauled
Island.
2D, hand drawn or pixel.
All right.
There was a Monkey Island that came out where you could play the new art or the old art,
Yeah.
or the new music or the old music
Yeah.
at the touch of a button.
Yeah,
which
that
is
we've
really
seen
cool.
from a lot of companies,
But
this,
that's not like a full-fledged RPG.
this is literally a fully fledged 3D RPG or 2D sprite-based RPG that are exactly, they have the exact same everything. So, obviously a big open space in a 3D game is represented overhead with a big open flat grass and trees and whatever. So really interesting idea. Our last top story, Fortnite.
Like if they did like 2 releases, but at the end, like you finish one game and unlock like a map or something for like a special thing.
So that would just be
And
two
then-
completely different games.
Yeah. But then,
Yeah.
but like they interlock, like,
Like Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Or,
Yeah, so
but
that
does
would
that
just be
do
making-
that where like you finish one game and it gives you an item that helps you
You
play
get a
the other one?
password to take over stuff to the other game. Yeah,
Oh.
and you can play them in whatever order
and then
you
there's people in the second game that tell you to go back to the first game and tell so and so this, and they give you like a special code.
Oh.
You can't even Google
Tell
it. and, like,
Frankie I said QR328.
Yeah, it's not
exclamation
even-
point.
it's not something that
Wait,
you
they're
can like.
It's
Hell no.
Mafia?
Hell no.
Yeah.
You go back to the old country?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
that's
do.
it.
Exactly.
Fortnite. Fortnite's been popular for
This
years
is
now.
ridiculous.
But
I can't even fathom.
if you
this
want a
number.
glimpse of
Go
just
with
how
the
popular,
Oswaldie,
that's
the
right.
Ogadi.
That's right, Josh. In December, console players alone in Fortnite, so not including PC, console players alone, so that's Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, accounted for 1.6 billion hours of Fortnite gameplay. That was Deux and I in traditional Fortnite. That was me in Lego Fortnite as well. That was Mom Brain in almost entirely Lego Fortnite. So 1.6 billion hours. Let's put that in perspective. That's more playtime than Call of Duty, and that includes all the Call of Duties right now. EA Sports FC 24, Grand Theft Auto Online, and Roblox combined. All of those major players in online play take the amount of playtime, combine that figure, and Fortnite beats it. Insanity. It all started with the introduction of the OG season, which wooed back lapsed gamers. And then you have the introduction of Lego Fortnite and Fortnite Festival and the racing game in Fortnite. Those all brought in new players, and lapsed players that came back for the OG season stayed for the new season of Fortnite as well. And everybody's playing. November numbers were up 146% over October, and December numbers were up over 9% from November. So they continue upward, but probably from December to January will be, if it goes up, it'll be very, 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 very minor. Probably will go down, but there you go. People are playing up Fortnite. Sticer says, I'd say I contributed about 10% of that or so. I mean, we contribute a good amount. Our numbers are in there, definitely, without a doubt. So there's your last top story. That's what we got, Mom Brain.
Yep.
What have you been playing?
Penny and Flow. That's it.
How did it go?
This is the tempo.
Are you doing this for me?
Yeah.
I knew it.
What? The tilt?
I don't know. Oh, no, the books you're looking at. I thought you were
Oh,
looking.
no.
Okay.
The
Absolutely not.
books.
Books.
I'm looking for Greta
What's up with all these books?
for February.
All right. Well, thank you, Mom Brain.
Have
Nicky
you
Hill.
have you found Pedro Pascal yet?
Penrose.
Yeah, I find him fairly regularly.
Ooh.
Oh, and the ads. I got you.
Yeah, well, that was
Daddy
Merge Mansion though,
Pascali.
not Penny and Flow. But maybe he jumped over.
Yeah.
Pedro and Flow. Just some
Yes, Nicky Hill?
solitaire. I played a little bit of Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Hi, TKO. Good to see you. Hi,
and,
Burn Cheese. I think I said that already.
Yeah, I mean, I finished like three maybe three
Hi, Guy Boss.
levels in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm
3 levels or 3 worlds?
worlds. Haven't found one secret exit except for one where it was like the only way to win this, get out of this exit, is to find the secret exit.
Haven't found one secret exit
Except
except
the
for
one.
one.
Yeah, but like they said specifically, there's a secret exit. The only way you get,
So how secret could it be if you need to get it?
Yeah, like it's
to pass.
they delivered me right to it.
They did that so that you'd feel good about yourself.
Well, it's
but
not a
it
secret
did
that there's a secret
did the
exit.
reverse.
It's a secret that the exit is hidden. So the secret isn't there being a
But
secret
it's not really
exit, but it's a
hidden
secret as to
because,
where
like-
it is.
And it's not a secret because he told you about it.
because it's
Yeah.
it's like
It's just there's a secret exit. Where is it? That's the secret.
yeah, but it wasn't really that much of a secret.
Probably should stop playing altogether.
Yeah.
I think. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sell the system. Get rid of the games.
but yeah, so that's it. Played those, done.
Red Susan says, my girlfriend told me she has a secret exit as well. I bet she does.
Exit only.
So you know that it's there.
I'm just
But
saying,
where
like
is it?
I went through 3 worlds and I still haven't found, like I haven't gotten a full completion on any level
Okay, I have a question. What does that mean to you?
that I should just quit.
That's what we're getting at, because it doesn't mean anything to anybody else. We think you're having fun and playing
I'm
the game,
just
but
not
you
at
are
a
very
level of
upset by it.
I'm
What does it matter? Bowser
it needs
doesn't
a-
give a
need some work.
shovel. It doesn't matter at all.
What do
Doesn't
you mean?
matter one
Bowser
bit.
probably he's floating around loving that. Look at this
Hey,
dope.
you
Can't
know how
handle
you
it.
can find out?
Dope
Get to him and ask him.
Dope
And you
can't
know
handle
what?
it.
He doesn't need any secrets to get to, so you're fine. He don't care.
Yeah.
They're so secret, even Bowser doesn't even know they're there.
It's like,
Yeah.
dope can't handle it.
He's down 3 clouds.
He's down 3 clouds. He's right.
Decloud that MF.
That's it, Nicky Hill? I did Radical Defect. You are exactly right.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, do Michaels. I know you got things to talk about.
Do Michaels.
That's me.
So I've been playing Animal Crossing New Horizon every morning while I have some coffee and listen to podcasts. Do my daily chores. I also, I never thought to do Halloween or Christmas on my island, but I was home for New Year's, so I did celebrate New Year's in my Animal Crossing island. And it was pretty cool. It was all different music. So like leading up to midnight, every hour was like a different like tune that wasn't, the normal songs. And then as you got even closer, it was like a new tune like every 5 minutes. Like the last like half hour, it was like a couple of new tunes, and it was like
Putting on a real show.
yeah, it was like kind of cool that, and like all your villagers are out and they're wearing New Year's stuff and they say hello and they all start to gather like in the in the square, and you've got like a huge clock that counts everything down and stuff. It was really nice, actually.
They do it up. They do it up nicely.
So I
What
kinda
time zone
like
is
that.
your island in?
It's Eastern Standard Time,
okay.
I would imagine.
I don't know if it's like they throw you somewhere.
Yeah, no, they ask
No,
you when you
it's
start
based on
up.
your Switch's time.
Oh yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
they base it on your Switch's time, and then they ask you what hemisphere you're in just for the seasons, I believe.
North Hemi.
North Hemi and Hem. So that was actually kind of fun. I'll try to get back in there for more holidays. It's funny what they call the holidays too, because I guess someone's going to get offended if they say Christmas, so it's called like Toy Day.
Oh, it's not so much offended that
Oh,
they
that's
make the
offensive.
game for a world audience, so they don't want it to be specific to one. Like, so
Right.
Americans be like, "What's Boxing Day? What the hell does this mean?" or something like that.
Right.
St. Swithin's Day. What's that mean? So
Right. Like you can buy like what are those Hanukkah candelabras called? A
Candelabras.
menorah. Like you can buy a menorah, but they don't call it that. They call it like, a festive candle or something like that, stuff like that.
Do they really call it Toy Day though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame
Yeah,
on
it's
them.
called Toy Day. Thanksgiving's called
You're
you're
Turkey Day.
ascribing other holidays things to Toy Day. Toy Day is its own thing. This is your problem.
No, but I think it should just be called like Joy Day or something.
Why?
Like,
It's about toys.
It's like
It's about toys.
I'm playing a game for children. Okay.
You're
So
playing a
like,
game
That is
for
not true.
everyone. You're
that
playing
is
a game
not
for
true.
everyone.
There are a lot of adults that play
Yep.
it.
well,
Kids are playing Call of Duty. We talk about this all the time.
yeah, kids are playing Call of Duty and adults are playing Animal
Yeah.
Crossing. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, so that, and like Thanksgiving's Turkey Day.
What about
and
Turnip
Halloween,
Day, where
Halloween
you turn
was
up?
Halloween was
Oh.
like, I don't remember, Candy Day or something.
Come on, brain.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you have to like you have to buy a bunch of candy and like hoard it beforehand because
Yeah.
you can't buy any on the day of.
Right.
And it's like currency that day.
Because all the stores in Animal Crossing have already switched over to the Toy Day merchandise. The day.
Well, it's funny because I made sure I didn't miss a day in October. I bought candy every day. You're only allowed to buy one piece of candy a day. So like you buy it all month and then you have 30 pieces
Wow.
like on Halloween. And I bought,
On
you know,
Candy Day.
I've got so many pieces of candy and then I forgot to play on Halloween. So I guess I have that much more for next year, perhaps.
Oh, do you not get to eat it now?
You could still eat it,
Yeah.
but it's not going to do anything for you
It'll
that
be vintage next candy day.
like a piece of
Is that
fruit
real?
wouldn't do for you.
Oh.
I'm afraid it's not
Because
real.
I had a bunch stored away from when I was playing it. So I was like, all right, let me get rid of all this. And nothing special.
Oh.
So yeah, I'll keep doing that. The problem is I'm almost about to break 5 million bells in my bank account, and I've got literally nothing to spend it on. Like I've bought pretty much everything.
They limit you to one piece of candy per day.
Now you got to start going to strangers' islands and being their mysterious benefactor and gifting them bags of bells.
I'm waiting for Boris to tell me he wants to leave. Every single other person on my island has told me they want to leave, and I won't let them. But Boris, once Boris opens the door, I'm kicking him out. And I've got so many Nook Miles tickets, I'm going to just go to islands until I get the best villager possible. But until that day, we're just going to keep doing what we can on Murray Land. Island Murray was already taken. So Fortnite, I've been playing a little bit. Not as much as I'd like to be playing it, to be honest, but we've played. Last night we had some good fun. We had a really, really amazing game.
Craziest game we've ever had.
Yeah, we have like no business winning some of these games. You know, like I can't tell you how many times 3 of us will die, and RMC will have to like leave the area and swing back like right before the storm comes and grab cards, then reboot us, and then he dies, and then we gotta like save him, and then it's like a leapfrog game until we somehow are the last team remaining. And it's like, how did we
failing
do this?
upwards, baby?
Yeah, how did we even get here? So it's really exciting.
That game we won yesterday would have been amazing to talk about, even if we didn't win. But the fact that we won just puts it over
really
the top.
was
I cannot believe we won that game.
And I didn't get to record this because I was playing, but one of our friends was watching you, RMC, and that was like one of the greatest plays ever. You were in the middle of a field, like getting like shot at, getting kind of sandwiched by 2 teams, and 4 guys in one team roll up in a Range Rover right at your face. They hit you, and instead of like blowing you back, you somehow blew straight up in the air.
Well, I put out the ballistic shield because I was like, they're going to run me over and I'll be
Oh,
dead.
the shield
That's why
did
I
that?
put the shield out. Yeah.
The shield stopped that
It
car.
stopped me from getting killed.
That's amazing.
So I bounced really weird from it, but I was
Wow.
like, I don't know if I'm not going to die from this, but I was like, I'll
Wow.
give it a shot because if I put the shield up, maybe I'll survive. And
that
I
was
survived.
brilliant. Yeah, so you had this ballistic shield. You used it the last second when you were about to get hit by a Range Rover filled with 4 guys. It knocked you in the
all
air.
dressed in Christmas tree outfits.
And that's how you know you're done. When
Yeah.
like a team is coordinated, you're like, there's like no way you're gonna live. But anyways, so like he comes down, and like as he lands in front of the Jeep, all 4 of them get out of the Jeep to like kill him, and he gets in the Jeep and drives away. It was incredible. It was so amazing.
I
and
watched
one
it.
of
It was
them
great.
got back in the Jeep with me, and I'm like, what are we gonna do?
They
So
can't.
I'm like,
they can't shoot you while
they
they're in the
could
Jeep?
have hung out the window and shot at the
Oh, they
car
could.
and blown it up, but then it would have been 1-on-1. So who knows what happens? So I took the car and drove it directly into the storm, and I'm like, I'm gonna force this guy out. And he jumped out, and then I swung around and got back in from the storm with enough health to survive. And then the rest of the game played out, and we won. I don't know how we won that game because it was beginning to end. Bless you,
Bless you.
nonstop insanity. People were dying. People were in a storm. We were sandwiched between teams the whole time, and they were all way better than us. But somehow, some way, we won it all at the end. Never been a greater game of Fortnite for us. It was incredible. I wish we had that whole thing to watch. I would love to see that.
Yeah, Fortnite is fun. We're still having fun.
It's a good one.
So there was that. Suika game obviously is still great. My only bugaboo with Suika game, I love that they have like seasonal updates. B, I wish they would keep them around longer. I get that the season's over, but give me a little something.
Suika Nurgle across the table.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Nurgle game. And then I needed something new, and I finally decided, because I had beaten Oracle of Seasons about 6 months ago, that I should finally go in and play Oracle of Ages. So I started Oracle of Ages,
Heyo.
picking up where my game in Oracle of Seasons left off. Really, really great. I'm probably I just beat the 5th level, I believe. So moving right along. The puzzles are great. I mean, it's such a testament that I'm liking this game, because the quality of life is not there as far as the controls and for the menu screen, and like, because the controls otherwise are perfect, Nintendo perfect, as you'd imagine. But like, it's just a testament to their amazing gameplay, their game making ability, that I love this game. Like, because I do not like how it looks, and I do not like how the music sounds, like the sound card. I know that if these were different arrangements on like the Switch with real instruments, it'd probably be amazing music.
Well, you like Link's Awakening's music on the Switch, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There you go.
So you can tell that the music's great. It's just some of it is kind of grating because it's on a Game Boy. And like I said, the graphics, while people like RMC would love them and appreciate them, a guy like me, oh my God, I hate how this game looks. But it plays so well, and it's so satisfying with the different types of like creative thinking that you have to do for these puzzles. It's just so wonderfully done. It makes me so it makes me want a fresh 2D Zelda again. Like, I'd really love to see what they could do, because I know that they can do it, obviously, gameplay puzzle wise. They can make it amazing, but I would love to see them their take on what the 2D graphics would be today, because they wouldn't make it look, knock on wood, they wouldn't make it look like the Game Boy. Pray to God. But like, there's got to be some.
I can't see them doing that.
Yeah, there would have to be something like something. And Minish Cap is whatever. Like, I'm not too crazy about the graphics on Minish Cap, but I like a lot of the animations and like what they were trying to do there. And I wonder and I know that's mostly Capcom, but I wonder what Nintendo's take on like a 2D Zelda graphically would be. But yeah, it's just so playable. I think I like it better than Seasons so far, even.
I believe I liked Ages better.
There's like a lot of going to like this weird land called Subrosia in Oracle of Seasons, and there's like weird hooded figures there, and I'm like not too crazy about them. But and I also like the puzzles better in this, because in Ages you go back in time and forward in time rather than between the 4 seasons to figure out puzzles. And it's really, maybe it's because it's 2D. I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around, like, was that in the past or the present? But some of the stuff that you can do jumping between the past and the present is really, really creative stuff. I mean, it goes a little bit further even than Ocarina of Time stuff. It feels much more involved than like Ocarina of Time puzzles were. But yeah, I highly recommend it. I mean, on the Nintendo, what's it called?
Switch Online.
Nintendo Switch Online. I'm just so happy that they're on there. I never had a Game Boy Color. I never would have had a chance to play these games, and to be honest, I never would have thought I'd even like them, just because I'm so shallow. And what a great experience it's been. So highly recommend. If you're looking to fill kind of like a Zelda itch.
It'll be interesting to see what you think of Mina the Hollower when that comes out, since you backed that, and that's couldn't be any more inspired by those games. It's
the graphics,
exactly the
especially
same.
like the graphics. again, happy that I backed them. They give me emails all the time. It seems like they're working really hard on it. I mean, good for you guys.
I think this year it'll come out. I think this year's the year.
Yeah, I got my fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to giving it a shot. And I did play the demo when they had that for me, but boy, I am so shallow. I cannot
demo,
stand
sorry?
the way it looks. For
Mina
Mina
the Hollower was a while ago. I got a press demo that we played together. I think they released it for backers at some point. I might be wrong about that, but yes, and you are right. I love that visual style. But
I don't understand it. Is it and for you, if I had played it back in the day, today I might love the style and it would be all nostalgia. But for you, I know it's not nostalgia. You actually like it, and I
Yes.
just want to know how. Like,
I'll try.
How do you look at that?
I've been thinking about it
The art
because
style?
what I think
soundtrack?
is you look at graphics as like a progression of time, and you're like, why would this is like limited by the hardware they had? Why would you want to have something that looks like that now? Whereas I look at it and I'm like, they really back in the day worked hard to push what a system could do to eke out whatever visuals they could. And I love that now we have developers that are like, I appreciate that as an art style, not as a representation of limitations that were back in the day. Like, I really like that people are like, some developers are like, we see a beauty in this art style, like that, or we see a beauty in this approach. Whereas back in the day it was a necessity. Now it's a stylistic choice. So I look at that stuff and I think it's beautiful. And I look at games from today, and I think games today, by and large, look very boring because you either get real, which is nice, but I'm not going to look at a realistic game 20 years from now and be like, look at how real it is. Like, I don't care. But I'll look at something like an Okami, or I'll look at something like No More Heroes or something like that. And I'm like, this has a distinct visual style. They are trying to say something here artistically. They're just not trying. They're not just trying to push polygons. Like, I don't have interest in that. That eliminates the art for me altogether. Like, I can look at like The Last of Us and take an appreciation in the virtual landscapes that are created. There's artistry in that. I get that. And there's artistry in all of it. The look at the buildings. I get the artists work on all that. But it's to achieve a realistic look for what the hardware could do. So that's not interesting to me at all. Like, I can appreciate what they do and be like, that does look like a nice looking real tree, but I don't get anything from that. Whereas like Mina the Hollower or old sprite based games or modern games that
What's that?
like
one?
even
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars, or even modern 3D
That's not the
games
same
that
one, right?
have
Is that Sprite?
Sea of Stars is, well, they made it to look like sprites, but they're using a 3D engine, which is crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
That's what I would want to see, like in probably something along those lines,
Or-
in like a new 2D Zelda.
Because that-
whatchamacallit?
Sea of Stars is
3D, 2D, 3D,
Oh,
3D,
yeah.
3D.
HD 2D.
Yeah, HD.
Sea of Stars
3D,
is
3D,
100% played 2D and looks 2D. And you would never guess that it's not 2D, but it is made in a 3D engine because there's lighting in the game that actually reacts as if it's reacting to a 3D object. Whereas back in the day, if they did 3D lighting, it would be an animator literally drawing what it would look like as a light source rotates around it. But here they use it's a 3D built game and it looks 2D. It's mind blowing. Never seen anything like it. I don't know how they did it, and they're very quiet about it because they know it's something like special to them. They
Oh,
figured out
cool.
some kind of engine to do this, which is crazy. But yeah, like I wouldn't look at a modern game that goes for realism and be like, this sucks, it's real. I'd just be like, it's real, it's fine. It's just not, I'm never gonna look back on that game and be like, that was a beautiful game. Like Uncharted 4, when that came out at the time, looked great. And you're like, wow, this is one of the best looking games on the PlayStation. But we're however many years after that now, and you're like, yeah, it still looks good, but it's just, it was real. It was aiming for what PS4 could do.
What was there? A news story
but
about?
Okami or Wind Waker, I'm never going to look back and be like, oh, that's what they could do. I look at that and I'm like, this is a stylistic choice. This looks nice. This is a art style.
Yeah, but Okami and Wind Waker are an art style. Oracle of Ages is we couldn't
that's what I'm
push this
saying.
thing any further.
Oracle of Ages uses, well, that's the thing. Our Oracle of Ages and all those retro games used an art style that was pushed to a limit for the system.
You have
like,
to.
Bionic Commando and Mega Man and Castlevania and all them use sprites, but they all have a very distinct style. Like, they all look very different from one another. And that's what Mina the Hollower is. It looks very different from other 2D games. It plays like Oracle of Ages, and it's inspired by the Zelda games, those Zelda games in particular, visually, but it does its own things as well. Like, those games all have their own identities, whereas a modern game that goes for realism just looks real. There's not much. I don't want to say artistry, because there is 100% artistry to it, but real is real.
I feel like modern games with like realistic graphics or something or whatever, like they can do whatever they want, but when you're dealing with sprite-based stuff, you're very limited and to accomplish some of the things that they do and like give you the depth in a character that only has a very specific amount of pixels is
That's the
impressive.
stuff that still wows me now when you see an old art style used as an art style, and how they'll do things now that weren't possible back then. That's the only kind of stuff that wows me in game graphics now. If I see like something in a game, like Sea of Stars has moments that wowed me, and they shouldn't technically, because of course it can do that nowadays. But you look at that type of game and you're like, this wouldn't have been possible back then. So I like that marriage of what the technology could do, what we can do now, and the art style mixed in all together. That's where I find the beauty in games for me personally. But I want to stress again, I'm not saying that I don't find modern realistic games beautiful, or more importantly, that there's not an art or an art style to them, because there very much are. And there's a lot of artistry that goes into them. It's just the end goal of that artistry is to strive for realism. So the end point is not something that interests me. I prefer the more abstract, I guess you could say. It's a better way of saying it. But yes, that's how I find Mina the Hollower to be visually pleasing for me. Or, and there's games that do retro art styles where I'm like, ugh, I don't like the look of that. Just like I did back in the day. There's games on the NES where I'm like, nah, I don't like that. Like Urban Champion. I don't like the look of Urban Champion. Or Karnov. I don't like the look of Karnov. There's games from back then that I just don't like the art style for, but I'll play the game anyway.
I'm sorry. Did Mina the Hollower ever actually come out?
No, I said I think it'll be this year. Yeah.
Okay, because I was looking at it and like the date on the
It is not
stuff
out.
is from 2022.
That's
Year
when
of
I
our Lord,
donated,
so-
I think.
That was the campaign.
Oh, you
He
contributed
backed
to it?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never done that before, and
And you did it for something that you were like
I
lukewarm
something
on
that I
it.
wasn't even that interested in. It was just something that RMC had said to me.
We had like a
someday.
big long talk about it because he was interested but not interested, and we were talking about Kickstarter in general and why they need backing and all this stuff, and the conversation we ended up having led him to back it. Yeah, I mean, 2 years isn't a long time, but
I haven't received the game
right,
yet, but
right.
But
like
2 years.
the updates that you get. I mean, yeah, it's been a long time. If I really
No,
wanted
I'm
the
saying
game,
2
I
years
might
is
be
a
pissed.
short time.
Oh, really?
I
To
think
develop a game? Yeah.
Oh, I thought
2
you
years.
meant for to
did
back
I may have
No.
I don't know. What did no. Oh my god.
I don't know.
No, I backed
No.
what I know.
I backed one of
Let me show you something. What I know.
I backed one of the Shantae ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that they always had like great updates and stuff like that. I mean, that's like a full-time job for somebody to do those updates.
It just feels
There's-
cool to
they're
be
so,
involved,
like deep and
to be included.
Think about how long Bloodstain's Kickstarter was for that game to come out. Like, that suffered multiple delays, and they were still keeping people updated, but it took a very long time. Mighty Number 9 is another one, which didn't pan out for people. I still haven't played that, but yeah, Kickstarter, usually they have some sort of pitch for the game and some sort of playable, as they call in the industry, vertical slice. But when they get the backing, then a vertical slice is what a developer takes to a publisher and is like, here's what our game is going to be like if you fund us. And it gives them a chance to play 20 minutes of a game, and they're like, okay, we see something here. And then usually that part of the game never exists. They're just like, here's what we're aiming for. And then, so yeah, Kickstarter backing takes time to make games, and sometimes the games are largely finished and it doesn't take them long to release, but by and large it does take long because these people are getting funding and they don't have the money to make things otherwise. So there you go. That's that. But anyway, Orgle Ages, you're
Well,
loving
they're doing it as a side project, and they're working on other things.
Yacht Club.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, I mean, Mean of the Hollow is their main game. If they have another game, they haven't announced it.
Yeah, but since 2022, they worked with another company to release another game.
Publish.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still like involved in things.
They
aren't
are publishing, yes, but
I
publishing.
thought you
and
said
devel-
like they even.
they
had-
gave insight to the developer if he wanted it on level twists and quirks.
What was
and,
the game?
Cyber Shadow. But yeah,
That's the only one. I thought they were involved in something else where they were like.
they have done other Shovel Knight spin-offs not developed by them. They've done Shovel Knight Dig and Shovel Knight Puzzle
Pocket Dungeon.
Pocket Dungeon. Yes, they did those, but those were developed by other companies.
Oh, all right.
Again, they have people working on them, yes, but Mina the Hollower is all Yacht Club. That is the game they are working on. If they are working on another game, it's a secret we don't know about.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mina Hollower definitely has to be their focus because that's their Kickstarted one. You don't want to be like, thanks for the money, we're going to do something else. So
Yeah.
that's definitely their main.
Right, but I
focus.
feel like in other cases, like with Way Forward, it was like this is our labor of love, but we need to work on these other companies to keep our employees.
Well, Way
and their
Forward's
families.
different because Way Forward will develop for publishers.
That's what I don't know.
Yacht
I thought-
Club
I thought
doesn't do
Yacht
that.
Club was into something with somebody else.
It's the other way around. Yacht Club brings in companies to make their games. Way Forward is brought in by companies to make their games. So, like Nintendo brought in Way Forward to do Advance Wars, and Universal hired Way Forward to do The Mummy Demastered.
What's the demake that was just talked about this past week?
Portal?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Dead.
So somebody
gone.
made a Portal game.
Over.
Somebody made a completely new Portal game.
I
That
don't believe so. I believe it was a demake of Portal.
is that what it was? Because one of them I thought was like
It might have had original content.
Valve was like cool, and they left it up on Steam.
No, they canceled 2 of them this week.
Oh, so they didn't like the other one either. Okay.
Yeah,
There was
2
like a whole
projects were
whole
canceled.
brand new one and then a demake, and they got rid of both of them.
The other one was more original. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But both are dead. Yeah. But yes, Deux, since you might not have heard of it, a guy was making a demake of Portal for the N64 to be like, Portal could work on the N64. This is how you do it. And he's like, and this runs on actual hardware. He's like, this isn't an emulator or computer thing. Like, you could put it on a cartridge and play it on your N64. So it was like mind-boggling. It's crazy. And he had been working on it for a few years. We reported on it a year ago. He just put out like a beta, or he just got out of beta. So it's like moving along. And this time Valve was like, hey, none of that.
So they let him work on it for 2 years, and then they were like, "Screw you."
I think what might have
Sick
happened
burn.
is they were like,
Like,
you
let him waste
know,
his money. Like, let him waste his time and everything on this.
Poor guy.
well, I'm not trying to be mean, and I do feel
he
bad for
should
the
have
guy.
known.
But when you're working on an IP that
Right.
not yours, that threat is always there. But
No, but it's like if one of these I don't want to say telemarketers, but like the phone scam people,
mhm.
if they call you and you keep them on the phone for like 30 minutes, just
They
going
can't
back and
scam
forth, they
somebody
can't
else.
scam somebody else. So just let them work on this
Yeah,
for a couple of years. It's all right. It's all right.
You know, I'm sure Nintendo, or the worry of Nintendo, perhaps not a specific threat from Nintendo, but the worry of Nintendo being like, hey, what's going on over here, was enough for Valve to be like, no more, don't do this anymore. So who knows? But it's dead, and it sucks because that's awesome. I would 100% pay to get a demake
know-
of Portal on the N64 and play that. No questions asked. I would have supported
I mean,
that.
I love Portal. I don't know if I want to play it where it'll make me sick, but hey,
Oh, you won't know until you play it. And I would have had it, so you could have tried it.
you know, I never went back to play the Portal 2 when it was re-released for the Switch. Like, I have it, but I never.
What is
It's
that?
good.
Companion collection or whatever.
I love
Stephen Merchant's
Stephen
great,
Merchant.
and what's his name? Jameson from
Omni-Man.
Spider-Man.
Omni-Man's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Omni-Man. Yeah.
What is his name?
Whiplash. Mm,
When I can't think of
he's
it,
got a real name.
it's normal. You guys not thinking of it is.
It's yeah, J Jonah. No, it's something with a J though, right? There's a J in there.
I'm just looking to the chat because they're
I
going
know.
to say it.
I mean, I'm holding this computer thing in my hand.
J.K. Simmons.
Yep.
JK.
There you go.
No, wait, that's the Harry Potter woman. No,
I couldn't remember Joel McHale last night. I couldn't remember his name. Could not remember his name, and I didn't know why. I had to look it up. I knew it was. I was like, "There's an M," and that's as far as I got.
Mole.
Anything else?
Mole Jakale. Oh, is that what you just said? You just said that.
I did say that, yeah. No, that was everything. All Zelda fans, mostly 2D Zelda fans. I'm willing to bet you haven't played this game. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure a ton of people played Oracle games, and I just never did. Play the game if you have. Oh yeah. Well, then forget I'm even talking.
No,
Sorry for bothering everybody with like a 20-year-old game.
This is what people like hearing when someone's like, "I never played it. I finally played it, and despite the things I don't like about it, it's fantastic." Yeah, that's great.
It's incredible how they know their business with these Zelda games. Like, it is so good. You wouldn't even know by looking at it. You'd look at it and you'd be like, "Ugh," and you'd hear it and you'd be like,
just look at it?
You'd look at it, you'd hear it, but there are many others who would do the same. I'm
come
sure.
on, well, I'm not going to ask you because your answer is going to upset me. So, what did you play, RMC?
No, I want to hear now.
Would you rather have a 2D Zelda that looked like Link to the Past or Oracle games?
Well, see,
he's going to say Oracle. I knew he would.
No.
What a nut.
Let me answer. I was going to say, to me, they use the exact same art style.
A Link to the Past from Super Nintendo.
Yes,
yes. Oracle.
They use the same art style.
I don't know. One looks like colorful and real, and one looks pixelated.
It's true. One is
chunky.
No, I mean, yes, one has like sharper sprites to it, but the art style art style,
fine. Forget the art style. Do you want it to look like A Link to the Past or look like Oracle games? I mean, knowing Nintendo, there's a third option that it's gonna be. But
I'll take Link to the Past.
Okay. Phew. God.
But again, like,
there's nothing else to say. It was either or.
But it's so weird a question because they're the same art style.
It's like when I asked you, there are two houses right next to each other. They're exactly the same. One is brand new and one's been lived in.
It's like when you go to the eye doctor and they're testing your eyes and you're looking at the same letter and they're like, number 2 or number 4? Number 2 or number 4? You're looking at the same thing. It's just number 2, it's a little more pixely. Number 4, it's a little more clear.
My problem with that is that I sit there and my eye refocuses and then I don't know what to tell them.
But if I was playing,
even at the eye doctor, you're having problems.
If I was playing
they both look okay. What do you want from me?
If I was playing it on the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy, I would want the Super Nintendo. If I was playing it on the Switch, I would want the Game Boy because I like a sharper, more rudimentary pixel versus a shaded pixel, but that's a personal preference. So original hardware, yes, Super Nintendo. Nowadays, no, Game Boy.
I don't understand what the difference is. I don't get why you'd.
I understand.
Because Super Nintendo has shading and fuzzier pixels that were based on the TV screen, and the Game Boy was just a smaller screen, so it looked better because you were so far away from it. It was so small. But nowadays, like if you play it on the TV, which you are, you get like the pixels are much sharper than they would have been back then. Just like on Super Nintendo, like so those games on Super Nintendo Genesis were made to be played on CRTs because CRTs blurred the image. So you didn't see pixels, you saw.
So you are giving me the answer that annoys me. You're saying because we're assuming this is going to be on the Switch, this hypothetical 2D game would be on the Switch. I asked you which graphics you prefer on the Switch. You prefer the Game Boy ones.
Because if it was Super Nintendo and it was like the distinct sprites, it would look weird because the colors wouldn't be blurred like I've
played Link to the Past on on the Switch and on my Super Nintendo Classic, and they look great. What's the problem?
Well, no, they do look great, yes, but the way you're looking at them now is not how they are meant to be looked at. Like they were made for CRTs because CRTs blur. You weren't supposed. Like when you make a retro game nowadays and you see the pixels, you're not supposed to see the pixels. That is an aesthetic choice. Back in the day, CRTs blurred that together. Like that's why things looked smooth or rounded or colors faded because there was like a blue and a little different shade of blue and a little different shade of blue all next to each other. And the old TVs, you couldn't see the difference there. Nowadays you can. So people make pixel games that are chunky, which I like. and pixel games that are blurred, which I don't dislike. I like that too. But given the two, I prefer the chunkier one because I feel it's like
I knew you would.
it's like I get a kick out of seeing sprites how they're drawn rather than how they appeared back then. Like it's like I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to see. That's what I get out of it. That's why I like it. And then I'm like, look at how they made this look, like this back in the day, but it actually looked like this.
So for all the folks in Radio Land,
Hi, Nick,
just want you to know I put a similar question. I think it's similar to RMC months and months ago about two houses next to each other, both the exact same houses, built the same time, like same age, everything's the same exact, same price for the house even. One's been lived in for a year and has like scratches on the floor, the walls, it's like a little beat up because it's been lived in. One's brand new. Both the same price. I asked him which one would he buy, and he said the one that had been lived in and crapped up. So I don't know why these kind of things annoy me because they're his preferences, not mine. And this is all a hypothetical, stupid thing. But boy, does that annoy me. And I know you explained yourself about the graphics just now, but it also annoys me that you'd pick Game Boy over Super Nintendo graphics. It just doesn't compute up here. It doesn't.
I get it. Well, the good news is you can do Super Nintendo and I can do Game Boy and everything.
Because this is hypothetical and doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Except with Mina the Holler, you got no choice, baby. It's Game Boy.
Well,
they might do it. They'll do filters, I'm sure.
Well, who knows? I mean, who knows? Like maybe this is opening the door for me, and I can play a game that looks like Mina the Hollower.
I knowing Yacht Club, they will put like 50 different filters in there, and it'll be like Super Nintendo, blurred, dithered, CRT, scanline, all that crap.
Wait, you don't like Mina the Hollower?
Well, I've never
visually like, from what you've seen.
Yeah, not really, because it's got that. Well,
it is 100% Game Boy. Like it's it's mimicking the style of Oracle of Ages and Seasons and Link's Awakening to a lesser degree. Without a doubt, that's what they're going for.
I mean, and I'm sure this is what they did back in the day.
Eggman.
With advertising and stuff, and like with the the game booklets and stuff like that. But it bothers me when you see like images like that that are like really cartoony and like really charming, almost like Don Bluethish or something, and then the gameplay is not what that looks like. Like I would love to play that game. That's why like
game boxes, art on the box.
Promotional
That's
art.
how you get it.
Yeah, promotional art. I mean, I will say,
and I'm sure it looks like the trailer, even maybe not, but like, oh yeah, I guess all the promotional.
Well, in the game, that is that artwork. You have that artwork, like the cutscenes in the game use that like art. That. Yeah. But the cutscenes aren't animated; they're stills, like it used to be on an NES or a Game Boy game. But it uses that art. Yeah, somebody draws that, and then they demake it, de-res it, downscale it to appear on in the game to fit that style from back in the day. It's like Ninja Gaiden's cutscenes or something like that.
Yeah,
great art.
We're looking at these like screens for Mina the Hollow. Like I'm not off put by that personally. I think there's
it's to each their own. There's no right or wrong nostalgic answer.
Especially the fact that like Mina is multiple shades of like she's completely comprised of shades of red. It's like kind of what you would get.
Game Boy
very limited with the color palette and stuff.
And I really, really like that stuff. As far as like back in the day, it was impressive because it was new. But nowadays, I like that some developers see that as an art style because I like the idea of using a limited palette to make something visually interesting. So yeah, that does it for me. What did I play? Fortnite. And then,
sorry, did anybody ask?
Dude did.
Oh.
And then I played I've been playing Prince of Persia, whatever the name of that new one is. What's it called?
Prince of Persia.
You're the one who played it.
Yeah, I'm not a name guy. You're a name guy. What is it called?
Lost something?
Prince. Why am I having the hardest time spelling out Prince? Sorry, guys. I should have looked this up. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is what it's called.
Crown.
So Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
He goes to the dentist because
I haven't gotten there yet. Spoiler. Thank you.
I thought you played. I thought
right. I'm playing
the whole thing.
I never said that. Everybody put out their review. I don't know how. I don't know what these people are doing. I brought up. This is a story I've covered a million times. I know when they got the game. I don't know how they're blowing through it so fast, but maybe they are. I don't know.
Al Shark.
Shark. That's right. So it's a Metroidvania. I don't know what else to say about it other than there's good Metroidvanias, there's bad Metroidvanias, there's great Metroidvanias. This is in the discussion of a great one. This is a top tier Metroidvania. This is up there with Metroid Dread. This is really good.
Really?
Yes.
Come on.
Go read the reviews. Don't listen to me. I don't know why you never trust me, but go read the other reviews.
Because you like GBA.
What about,
you like Game Boy Color
you
graphics.
talking about playing Oracle all this time.
What about Ori
What about Ori?
in the comparison?
What's better?
Yeah, I guess Metroid Dread is probably better than Ori anyway. So
See, Metroid Dread and Prince of Persia are more traditional Metroidvania, where Ori's a little bit more open, I would say. They're all Metroidvania, certainly, but they have a flow to them that are different.
Like you're very limited to where you can go. But
no,
also,
you're not limited. You're not limited. It's a Metroidvania,
well,
but
I don't know what the
there's just a flow to the game that feels different. It's
but also there's like in combat kind of cutscenes, almost like while you're fighting.
There's in-game cutscenes.
Or like the combat of like some of the bosses or something is a little more dynamic, like Metroid Dread.
You got it. Yes, there are certain there's attacks you can counter and attacks you can't dodge at all. But if the yellow sparks signify ones that you can counter, and if you counter it, then it'll go into a cinematic attack that you do,
which I'll probably never see. The timing on those, not so good.
The timing is very forgiving. I would say more than Metroid Dread forgiving, without a doubt. Yeah. But combat feels good. Yeah, very fluid. Those cinematic finishers and attacks feel great. Game controls really well. I personally really enjoy the art style of the game. Soundtrack so far is phenomenal. The areas are really interesting to explore and very unique. You get a lot of really cool new abilities that you wouldn't expect. Like you get a bow and arrow that you can also like throw out the bow, and the bow spins to like unlock gears and stuff. It's a really interesting thing. So things that you get along the way are multi-purpose.
But you can't break it apart to use the bow like two blades.
Not yet. I don't know. But it's really good. The story's interesting. The characters are really well voice acted. The main cast of characters. So there's like your guy, and then there's like seven other main characters.
What about the Al voice actor?
Yeah, that's some AI guy that or AI thing that they did that they're replacing. That I know people are making a big deal out of that. That's something developers use it a lot of the time. They do a text to speech just while they're running through the game to hear like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then they replace it as it goes on. I know I'm going to get raked over the coals for it, but I think what Ubisoft said is true. I think it was just a placeholder mistake, and they're going to put it back in there. Why would you do voice actors for everybody else? It makes no sense. So I'm giving them the benefit
it's the voice of like when you teleport or whatever to a different location. That's what it is.
I don't even know. Because I read the story about like the whole fiasco. And
Did you listen to it?
Really, like I said, they have voice actors for everybody else. I think it so stands out that this is an oversight or mistake, not like let's squeeze AI in here for this, but well, none of us will ever know the truth. So
it's going to save us.
Voice actors,
it's going to save us a ton of money to just use.
We'll hire 98% voice actors and one robot to do this. Yeah, but the voice actors that are in it are very good. I really like them. They all do a very good to great job, I think. So
is Chris Pratt in there at all?
Not that I've heard yet, but and the level design probably is my favorite part. Levels are really intricate and have a lot of places to explore. It's got a great map system. It's great. It's
a lot of hidden exits?
Really great. Well, it's a Metroidvania, so there's really no exits there. It's all open. I cannot stress how much to me this game feels like the design of Symphony of the Night. There's just something about it. Something about like corridors and pathways and the way the levels flow.
I might have to play this game.
It feels like Symphony. It's a Metroidvania. You like that genre. It's an excellent one.
What do
It's
you have against it? Just
really good.
off for right now.
I don't want to pay $60 for it,
But he
And
did say it's a
that's
very
what
it's like a
Matt
30-hour
Piscatella-
something game.
Matt Piscatella, the analyst guy, is on X talking about it. And he's like, this is going to be the real test, because he's like, you couldn't ask for better press for this game. Like, reviews have been off the charts. People are saying game of the year already for this year. They're like, what a way to kick off 2024. You cannot get any better praise. But he's like, people are going to see it's a side view and it's $60. And he's like, this will be the test. You could not give them any better an excuse to be like, play this game. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen. He's like, is this going to be the one that breaks the curse? I don't know.
They need Jake Gyllenhaal out there saying,
You'd buy it.
Here we go.
I'd buy it.
There you go. Yeah, so I don't know. It's I cannot tell you how mad it makes me. And I want to write a feature about it this week, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think
Because no one will read it.
I don't think I'll be too mean, honestly. I don't know how to do it without being.
Is there a
You don't
rewind
need
element in
bone
this
your
one?
Body.
Is there like a rewind
like
time
one?
element?
I don't want to say.
Or that's just Sands of Time.
How about this? Time is a very important part of the story.
Oh no.
Oh, great.
Not
There's a
getting
time
it.
limit.
Majora's Mask time limit. Not doing it.
Is this serious or a joke? You played the Sands of Time.
Well, you could rewind time in that. You controlled the time in that.
I know. I haven't said anything
He can't,
about
he
the
can't
time
talk
in
about
this.
things in detail, but
The game that hasn't even come out yet. I don't want to spoil it for people.
when does it come out?
That's why Ubisoft
This
did the
week?
embargo the week before, because they knew this game was good. A
I'm just
whole
saying-
week before, they were like, "Go do the reviews."
Is it like the original Mario where it's like you have 99 seconds to finish the level?
Well, no, there's
No.
no levels because it's
It's a Metroidvania.
Then how is there a time element? Never mind.
Have you ever played a game where this is crazy? You've played plenty of games where there's time elements where either you control or don't control the time.
So we're just talking about
well,
the
it's
fun
Prince of
part.
Persia, so you probably hit a switch and you have a
talking the
limited
fun
amount of time to
bit
get through the
of
door.
time control.
Right?
Again, you can go read the reviews. I'm sure they spoil it, because I would say reviewers are garbage. And they tell you all you want to know. I'm not going to do that. The game isn't even out yet, people. Show some reserve
I didn't
reviewers. It's
realize this
disgusting.
was a spoiler to talk about time.
Well, there's certain mechanics and storyline elements that I don't want
remember
to
the
talk about,
trailer.
because I'm like, let's let the people enjoy it before they.
Yeah.
You know what you should do?
So
This
people
is
are going to
so
spend $60 and they have no idea what even is
We
in
should
the
get
game.
the demo and we
That's what I was
should
going to say. This is so stupid of a conversation. Download the free demo. Yeah, there's a demo.
Well, the demo's going to spoil it then.
I don't know what's in the demo. You'd have to play it. I did not. Play
I
the
love
demo.
being a big jerk. Sorry.
Yeah, try the demo. See what you think.
Maybe I
Then,
will. It sounds like a great game.
It's not gonna happen.
I want to stress that it's not just a great game. It's a fantastic
Game
game.
of the
And I
year.
know you say I like everything. So I'm telling you, go read the other reviews, because everybody's on the same page with
January
this one.
18th.
There you go.
Gosh,
I said 17th and 19th. I was wrong. The 18th.
gotta wait so long for this.
What do you mean? You probably won't even finish the demo by then. Am I wrong?
Yeah, because I'm not going to download it.
There you go. That's it. So I said it. You got 5 days to play the demo. Yeah, if you're on the fence, play the demo.
Prince of Persia: The Thomas Crown Affair.
It's phenomenal. And to tell you the truth, the most surprising part for me was the music, because I expected the music to be at best ho hum. Music's really good. Some of the areas have some excellent songs in them, but there's nothing bad in it at all.
Nothing offensive.
It's
like-
very. I don't know what happened at Ubisoft, but they were like, "Hey, how about we give you guys money and like you do what you want to do?" And they were like, "Oh, okay, we'll do that." I don't know how it happened this time, but it happened.
So is this is also on Sony and Microsoft as well?
It's
or-
on everything.
So it'll look a lot better on one of those systems, I
Well,
imagine.
the art style is the same everywhere, but it is more HD on the other systems. Yes.
All right.
But
Oh, and if you
And here's-
pre-order,
and-
you get a Warrior Within outfit.
I want to stress, if you can go watch side-by-side comparisons of all the versions, they look very, very similar, but PS5 and Xbox Series X will be higher resolution.
But you also think A Link to the Past looks like Oracle of Ages, so
I want to stress this, and I know you're doing your shtick. I'm doing it for the people listening that care. I know you're just trying to needle
thank
me.
you.
The game's engine is exactly the same on all systems. The game's art style is exactly the same on all systems. There is no difference. It is the exact same game, art style, and engine across the board. So what if you don't like how the art looks on Switch, You won't like how it looks on PS5. Vice versa. Doesn't matter. Exactly the same everywhere. All I can say is, at best, there might be some specular lighting and some highlights and some shadows that might be different, but the
God.
art is completely
I love
the same.
specular lighting and shadows.
But the frame rate on Switch is 60 frames per second. I don't know what it is on the other systems. Probably 120. I don't know. It could be higher. Obviously, there's no reason.
So it looks
why
great
would
on
be
the. It runs great on the Switch.
higher. It is 60 frames per second on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had any dips yet so far.
There you go.
None. I don't know. I don't know how it happened because Ubisoft, for Ubisoft to be like
$50.
there you go, $50. Ubisoft was like, yes, we will fund this side-scrolling Metroidvania for all systems. You will have the resources to make it as good as it can be on every platform. And we won't tell you what it has to have. Like, it's not like, oh, we need rock music in this one, like whatever that other one was.
Warrior Within. Right?
Listen, this is what I think happened, and I'm going to be honest. I think Ubisoft behind the scenes was like, we're so tired of you guys bitching about wanting to make a game like this. Fine, do it. If this thing doesn't sell, we're never doing it again. That's what I honestly think is happening. I'm being dead serious right now. That's what I think's happening.
So it's never going to happen.
Ubisoft's going to be like, we want to hit this sales target, and if it doesn't hit it, we're never doing this stuff again. We're going to do Far Cry 17, and we're going to do Ghost Recon everything, and that's it, because that makes sense to us. But go ahead, everybody. You get your one shot. Do I have any proof of that? No. But you look at Ubisoft's back catalog and you tell me where I'm wrong about it, because they don't do stuff like this anymore.
Well, they did Frontiers of Pandora, right?
Welcome to
Yeah,
your
So here,
doom.
and they did really great. That
No.
was one of the best selling of the year last year. You just said.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game that everybody agrees is horribly boring. And you know why they did it? Because they got a deal with James Cameron, because he's like, you want some of this? And they're like, yes, we do. So
Hey,
Some
listen,
cheddar with lemon.
it's almost 10 after 6.
you got somewhere to be?
is
No,
a
but
long show,
I know
man.
you worry about
Ooh.
length of the show. We haven't even hit questions
Giving him the
yet,
business.
so
Okay.
I
You
just
want me to go?
no, I don't care what you
New
do.
year, new mom
You want
I
me
brain.
to
just
leave
know-
and you'll go? You can do that.
No, I just know that you get fussy about.
It is
time.
long. We should break this up into 2.
Thank you for the. Oh my God. What just happened to my neck?
Oh boy.
42 years old.
Mhm.
41 years old?
You're
Oh, that
41.
really hurt. Thank you for the note. Radical Defect is calling for 4-hour pod. Well, I guess we're done there. You heard my plea.
How many TikToks?
Let's
is
put it
gonna
this
be?
way. I know nobody's buying this game. They'll be lucky if they get 1 million units sold. Dear God, do I want to be wrong on that? But if you people don't want good games, even though Ubisoft's going to try and shove it down your throat, then I don't know what to tell you. So there's my spiel. Like I said, I can't write about it this week because I'll be too passionate and angry, and I don't know what to do.
So are you going to buy a copy to support them?
So if nobody buys it, it's your fault because you're not writing about it.
I'm going to write a review.
Yeah, but you're not going to write
I'm
your opinion piece.
contractually obligated. Well, a review is an opinion.
Yeah.
What do you say for? No, what reviews are you reading that aren't opinion?
But the other
Hey,
opinion
chills.
stuff is the important one.
You just told me you didn't like how I talked to my TikTok. Why the hell am I going to write an opinion piece?
No, I didn't. It's the cadence, and I preface that by saying I love you, or I really
No, I
appreciate you,
hate
or
that
whatever.
cadence too. I 100% get it. I hate
Like
doing
it doesn't,
that.
and I said it doesn't
hate it.
sound like you.
I know. I hate it with a passion.
Well,
but
let's change it.
that's what people want. You
Let's have a
can't.
revolution.
The combination of the time limit and the algorithm, I'm not strong enough to beat either of those, so I can't.
Let's just start doing TikTok reviews where we just go, hey, blah blah blah, love it.
Yeah,
You can't get faster than that. Let's take this
you
to
already
Vine.
started wrong. You said, hey, blah, blah, blah. You'd have to say hate it. Then people would watch. They don't want to know if you like something.
But we don't know what I'm hating. If I
Doesn't
don't say it.
matter. You hate it. That's what matters.
Knowing how it is so terrible at doing subtitles, if you come out and say "hey," it might say "hate" in the subtitle, and then that'll get them to stay, and then they can watch.
How
the
much
like how you're
more
thinking.
proof do you need that the internet runs on hate than my algorithm? Just yesterday on YouTube, because this is what it thinks I want. It gave me a video that autoplayed about Echo, where the guy starts off by saying, the MCU is in full effect. And I'm like, what have I shown you to make you think I want to see
current
like
day.
that? I
But
don't get it.
I just saw something that I don't. Excuse me. I don't know her name IRL,
Alakwa?
but she something said that about like releasing from the MCU or something.
Yes, I get it. You know what?
So
she
she
can say
being
that because she means it in
cheeky?
a good way. This guy is a neckbeard in the basement
There's
saying the
definitely
MCU
there's
is
definitely
ruining
two
it.
ways to say it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can be part of the MCU and be proud of it. Yes, certainly.
But you
And
just,
I'm sure there's
if that's
people-
how he started it, we don't know whose side he's on.
We know.
I'm trying to tell you.
We
I saw
know.
10 seconds and I got it was him complaining about a woman-led Marvel show continuing the trend of how
it was
bad
a
all of
man.
them are.
It was a man talking about Marvel that
A
wasn't
man.
RMC. That's how we know it was going to
Um,
be hate-filled.
So yes, it was.
Ugh.
I clicked on his channel because I went to go block it, and it was a who's who of like Star Wars female bad. The woman who's directing the new.
Sue.
They were talking about the new Rey movie, how it's being directed by the lady who did Miss Marvel, and this guy was like, "Talk about
That's
a
it.
crap fest," but he
Rey?
didn't say that.
New Ray movie?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Done by yes, it's
Force
being
is strong
spearheaded by
with
the
this
lady
one.
who did Miss Marvel.
Hmm.
So yes, he was let's just say not happy about it, but in stronger terms. But anyway, that's what my algorithm thinks I want. That and beer ads.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, bye Prince of Persia. Let's do questions, my brain.
Oh my gosh.
Sure, why not?
Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com. Goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. This question comes from Knock on Wood. Just woke up from a dream that I was trapped in RMC's commune and I tried again and again to escape from it. I should note that in this dream, RMC was a very nice host, so I'm not sure why I was trying to escape. This got me thinking about dreams in general. So I wanted to know all your thoughts on dreams. Do you dream often? Well, let's do it piece by piece. Do you dream often? Nowadays, I do, yes, but I would call them nightmares.
A nightmare. I actually believe, if I think I'm correct in saying this, that we all dream every night. It's just a matter of whether we remember them or
Actually,
not.
Do you remember your dreams often, Monbray?
No.
Do you remember your dreams?
Not often. Not
Nicky?
often these days.
So one at the table says yes, but I said they're nightmares and not dreams. Are the dreams vivid? I will say yes, some scarily so. Yes, I've woken up in a panic many times. One just a couple weeks ago.
When I have if I remember my dream, it's pretty vivid.
Are they vivid?
Not usually. Not usually. They're usually pretty abstract. They usually cover a lot of weird ground.
Usually flying through ceilings.
But yeah, it's been it's been a long time since I've been able to like control anything that's going on in my dreams. Yeah, I don't really do that anymore.
Nicky, vivid?
I don't remember them.
Okay.
I mean, there's the occasional time when like I fall asleep, like I wake up and then fall asleep, and
falling down
then
the
and then you have
stairs.
you really have that like deep REM like dream or whatever during those short nap periods, and like some of those I think might be vivid, but then like 3 seconds after I wake up, they're gone.
Do they make sense? For me, mixed bag. The ones recently, they make sense in the fact that they're plausible for the most part. There might be some things that don't make sense where I'm like, what are they doing here? They don't even live in this state, but still plausible. Used to be nonsensical, but last few years, I'll say mostly plausible. Yes. Mom Brain, do they make sense?
No, I mean, I have like reoccurring themes in my dreams, and it makes sense that that's what I'm dreaming about usually. And 9 times out of 10, whatever I dream about makes perfect sense. Why I'm dreaming about it, but the actual dream itself, like, is not something that could happen in real life.
Do yours make sense?
Yeah, they make sense. It's similar to the two of you, where what happens in them like would never happen in real life. Like I wouldn't be on a space station, but like there are space stations, and me trying to stop it from exploding
That's
or something like that.
terrible.
Like
I got one I got to
sounds
tell
real.
you about. I can't do it on the show. I have to tell you after, but
Oh,
it's
all right.
it's about
Kinky.
friends related. You'll get a
The show?
kick out of it. Yeah, big fan. That's all I do in my dreams is watch Friends. That's why I said it's a nightmare. Nicky, do they make sense for the ones that you do remember on the off chance you remember?
The only I mean, there was one that I woke up and I tried to write it down because it was crazy and it was like kind of scary or whatever. And I was like, this would make an incredible story. So it was just whatever. But everything else I think is very like normal, and it's just day to day life. I don't know. It's just
Bonus
I guess they
question.
make sense.
What do you think dreams are? Do you subscribe to the fantastical Doctor Strange 2 notion? Well, I'll stop you right there. No, that dreams are a view into the multiverse,
You
or are
don't.
dreams just a collection of thoughts gelled into something random that our brains try to make sense of? I'm going to go with the second one.
Yeah, dreams are totally like your brain sort of like taking like everything that happened in your like immediate, temporal space and like filing them in connecting them to more like older, putting them into like more deep storage or making sense of them. I absolutely, if I'm learning something new, I absolutely, if I go to bed at night and I get a good night's sleep or just a night's sleep, the next day it's like mine now. I like own the knowledge. I own the like I've processed it.
Your soul.
Like
is
I'm
mine.
absolutely way better at things after I've slept and then I come back and try again.
Do Nicky? Your
Dreams,
thoughts on dreams?
Dreams are wishes that your heart makes.
There you go. That's
beautiful.
beautiful
They're not real.
and original.
Yeah, I just think they're just for me they've been random thoughts just put together in a weird pattern.
Great question, knock on wood. And also, you're welcome at my commune anytime, and I will be a very gracious host.
I
Yes.
have one dream thing also. When I was in college, I was a senior living in an apartment. I had a terrible, terrible nightmare, and I don't know why it was a nightmare. Based on what it was, that Tom York was breaking into my bedroom window.
That's a nightmare.
And
Definitely.
to this day, I still wonder if someone was actually breaking into the bedroom window
that's
You
because
don't
it
know
was that.
why Tom York breaking into your window at night would be a nightmare. That's scary. The man is scary.
No, he doesn't scare me.
Yeah, right.
He's
It's
a
like
creep.
you thinking like, I love Mads Mikkelsen, and him breaking into the window at night is scared of
Be
crap
like,
out of you.
dinner is served, Mr. Mickelson. But to this day, I really think somebody might have been.
Maybe it was actually Tom York. Patreon question. Mom
Those are
Brain.
the things that freak me out when I
Tom
just
York at your bedroom.
well, no, like when you're like in that weird sleep state where you're not like in a deep sleep and small sounds like far away are really loud in your head.
I know you feel that way. Yes.
And like, yeah, so like falling asleep at home,
cheese.
falling asleep at home, and the house settles and there's a little creak and you wake up thinking like somebody just broke, like slammed the door down or something.
There have been noises where I didn't know what it was and it jolted me awake because I'm like, what made that horribly loud noise? And then I'm like, did that noise actually happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake myself up talking a lot.
Mom Brain, did
Who's
you
there?
know that you could join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Marsboro did. Thank you, Marsboro. They ask, have any of you ever been in a situation where you had to do something heroic or bravely noteworthy? If so, how did it go? If not, how do you think you would handle it? Love the show and all you do. Well, thank you. We love you. And I love this question. Any heroic or brave acts here, people?
I honestly can't think of anything, and I don't know how. I often wonder how I would act in a situation that would call for some sort of heroics. I like to think that I would obviously jump into action. We all like to think that, but you never know. And I'm the guy that's like yelling at the TV, like, "What's that guy doing? Why isn't he like helping or doing something or what? Like, what's he standing around for?" But like, I honestly don't know. I
Yeah.
might stand there like a deer in headlights, like not like in shock that
Yeah,
something's
exactly. I was gonna
crazy
say,
happening in front
You
of me.
would want to, but you'd just be so shocked that you didn't move, and then you're like afterwards, you're like, "What happened to me?
Yeah.
What's going on?"
Exactly.
We once were at Target and there was a young woman cashier and she was crying like at work, as she was working. And we were like,
I'll never forget it.
oh, and she just was like, I'm okay. And we were like, whatever it is, like, and like she didn't say why, or maybe she did.
Don't bring it
and I
into
don't
your
remember.
job.
So we went and bought her like a Starbucks
Hey.
gift card,
Scan this. I
And
gotta get out
then-
of here. I got places to be.
and then gave it to her. We were like, "Here, just we
Yeah,
hope it
I,
gets better."
when we were walking away, I was like, I feel too bad. We gotta get her
Yeah.
something.
That was nice of you guys.
I don't.
Then she cried
Well,
harder
she
because
cried more at that.
she
Yeah,
doesn't.
we were like, no. So we took it back.
She's like, I hate coffee.
It was about
She said
coffee.
that she just found out
I
she can
got-
never have coffee because
Yeah.
of the
I got
caffeine.
fired from Starbucks. Actually, that's why I'm crying.
I kind of
fired
don't.
from
I don't.
Starbucks and walked right over to the Target, the other half of it, to start working there.
I don't even work at Target. I'm just standing here. I got lost.
I was embarrassed.
Real heroic stuff. I've never. I don't think I've ever done anything. The only times that I've tried, like I've seen something off and I tried to like alert somebody, or, you know, I think you guys had a situation with a cat that was like under a dumpster and you called and like you tried to get
Yeah,
it rescued.
Mhm.
And I tried to do the same thing at one point, and like I'm just met with like people who couldn't care less.
Absolutely.
And it's just like I'm calling you because you're the authority who's supposed to know what to do or have the connections to do something, and you're telling me it's a lost cause and I should just like F off. That's not, like, I don't get that. What's up?
As if there was a window open.
But then this other thing, it's not really heroic. I felt good about it, and I like to try to do someone a good turn without telling anybody, because then it means more, and I feel really like if I talk about it now, it's less meaningful. But I mean, I don't know. Basically, some guy was asking for money outside of a train station. He said he needed to get money for a ticket, and I don't really carry small bills.
So I told him get a job.
So I told him get a job, and he went and he got a job, and now he's
And that-
he's a
my boss
millionaire
now.
Yep.
Now that
I-
man is Al Shark.
No, but I walked away, and then I was like, I don't have cash, but I can buy him a train ticket if he needs it. And I went back and I told him, and I said I could buy you a train ticket, and I walked away. No,
That'd be so funny. That would be so funny.
no, but
He's
again,
still
so I
there.
hooked
His
him up. And
skeleton's
so now
still there.
that that nice deed means a little bit less, because now
Well, that's
I
great.
did it for
Oh,
myself.
you were
And he
asked.
really wanted a ticket. Did he say yes? Like
He did. He took it.
okay, that's
Yeah.
great. So he really wanted a
Yeah,
ticket.
there
'Cause
was a
sometimes
time-
sometimes it's like you don't know if he's just saying.
There
that
was
or-
a time when I was working in Texas, I think it was, and there's a lot of people at the overpasses, because all the overpasses have like traffic lights and stuff, and they're all like waiting, and they were asking for money for food, and we had a bunch of food in our car, and we were about to fly out to a different city, so we were like, we didn't have food, we had a bunch of Gatorades and stuff, and it was hot, it was Texas, and we're like, here's some Gatorades, and he's like, oh, that's it? And we were like, you're welcome. Like, what? This is what we have.
Yeah. Tough.
I see that you guys want Deux and Nicky to answer last week's question. I know we're so long on this. I promise I will have them answer it. Just
What was the question? It was 6 somethings. What was that? Is that what you said?
It was like the 6 books, movies,
3-6 Mafia.
shows that define who you are.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
listening and I couldn't come up with things.
Okay.
so-
Well,
sorry.
then that's
I'm
that.
sorry to
Deux, if
ruin
you
it.
I
have
said the
some, go right
Simpsons.
ahead.
I mean, I said the Simpsons in the chat last week because I quote them every day. That early Simpsons, they kind of shaped my sense of humor. I mean, even as a kid, there were jokes that I didn't understand that I would say, not even knowing why they were funny, and then it became
Yeah.
like part of my sense of humor. So, Simpsons is probably number one for me, and for the longest time. You guys might not think of it, but comedy or sense of humor has been really important to me and just my personality. So I'd say that, but I couldn't really think of anything else. I mean, Nintendo. I play video games more than anything else, really. So I really don't know.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cop out with a non-answer, but I thinking of things, especially from my past and childhood. I have a garbage memory of things, and so if it helped form me into the person I am today, well, good on it. But I don't know what it was. Simpsons, sure, I can say that probably.
Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street as a kid taught me a lot, but like,
see, I don't remember my experiences with any of those, even like G.I. Joe and all like those after school cartoons and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean,
can't-
but would you say they were formative, or you just enjoyed them as a child?
I can't tell you. No, I can't remember them now. I can't remember any of the experiences I had now to be able to say that they were formative. In any way.
Okay. In the heroic stuff, I'll just say very quickly, Lube and I chased a shoplifter out of a mall. We were actually trying to capture them, but we didn't get them.
nice.
They ran away.
Probably for the best.
Um,
How many things did you take out with you though?
Oh, that's the way to do it. That's
well,
brilliant.
they came out of limited too, so nothing. I wanted a lot, but nothing.
You also gave a hug to a person who was
That's-
crying.
It's one of my favorite stories, but that's not heroic or brave.
Yeah.
That's just nice.
It could have been.
No,
It's
agreed,
brave
it's
because
brave,
I'm not
agreed.
gonna
She
say-
probably would have said it was heroic. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like, she
Well,
would have been like, he really.
Yeah, but this is asking me. I wouldn't. say
COVID
it's
wasn't a
heroic.
thing then.
That's not.
I
it's
mean,
just
if it was
hugging
COVID now, yeah, it would
she
be very
was
brave.
sad, and I hugged her and I let her use my phone. It's not heroic or
There he is
heroicism
again,
in my
not,
eyes.
Not
It's-
able to take
Yeah,
a
but do you
compliment
remember
again.
like
it's nice.
Left 4 Dead?
I appreciate the compliment, but I don't think it's heroic.
Listen, what about Left 4 Dead? There's the women that are sitting there
Bill,
crying, and you getting close, and they
Bill,
attack you.
Bill,
Like it could have been the
Bill.
same thing.
And then
Very brave.
the thing I would argue that was actually heroic. Well, no, it's not heroic. I don't know what it is.
Well, that time
I
you
was in
stopped
a
the
car-
terrorists from attacking.
I was in a car and the car was going to be in an accident, and there was someone sitting in the back seat, and I had a feeling, or I was worried they were going to get crushed. And I remembered like turning around and looking at them and grabbing them and saying move and swinging them over to behind me. And then the car swung around and crashed, and the tree smashed where they were sitting. And I was like, holy crap. And then you knew something was up somehow at school. She got her spider sense and was like, something happened to raw meat. Something went on. She was right.
Wow, that's
We were all
weird.
fine, but
Yeah, everybody walked away.
everybody walked away. And then I got yelled at because I didn't pray. But that's another story for another day.
Yelled at by the driver,
Not by the driver, no.
by a passenger.
By the passenger, by the driver
Yes.
and the passenger's father.
Yes.
Awkward. But anyway, that's it. Let's do music.
Oh,
Send your music to gonintpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Go nintpod@gmail.com. Put music in the title. Help out your local mom brain.
Hell.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Oh, I gotta
Is that
do
what I
something.
sound like?
This is what I gotta do.
Okie dokie. I'll try to be quick on my part. The first song we have for this week comes from PT.
This is very familiar. Should it be?
I don't know. It's. Well, I won't say anything yet.
I feel like it's familiar. Maybe it's not.
Sounds like what I listen to when I'm trying to fall asleep.
So I got a whole bunch of guesses that would fit it, but I don't think they're right. Tunic?
No.
Deltarune?
No.
I love it.
World of Goo.
No.
Grease.
No.
Rez.
No.
It's not Ori.
Not Rez.
No.
Man, I really like it.
Metroid Prime.
System?
Switch.
Doesn't help. I'll call it. I don't know. I'd just be searching for guesses.
The game is Manifold Garden.
Haven't played it.
Looks pretty cool.
I know of it. Have not played it.
Our next song comes from Radical Defect / Master
The
Higgins.
song makes me want to play. Well, it's GBA. I know that for a fact.
Sure is.
And it's not bad. Yeah, it's a Sonic game.
Yep.
Well, I only got so many Sonic Advance 2.
No.
3.
Yes. Sonic Advance 3. From Radical Defect / Master
Great job.
Higgins. This one comes from Human Fart.
Another one I like.
I think you played it.
Switch.
Yes.
You think I played it, but it's not ringing a bell.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it is literally ringing a bell. Now, what's that one with the penguin do?
Death something.
Death's Door?
That's store.
No.
All right, what are we doing here? Bells, jaunty. What are we doing here? We're like,
Rayman.
no, it's like, it's like a bounciness to it. What does this say to me? It's saying something, but I can't. Some kind of the bells are saying water to me. Is there water?
I think so.
Okay, jaunty water. So some sort of pirate game.
Sort of looks like that.
Whoa!
Oh, wait. Did you say what system?
Switch.
Never mind.
Pirate game on Switch, or boat game, or water game, or
Ray
Dredge.
the Diver.
No, and no.
Shantae.
It sounds serious, kind of. Does it look serious?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, not
It's not-
like.
It's not that submarine.
Oh no, I know what it is. I can't remember the name of it. It's an award-winning game. I haven't played it. I bet that's what it is. Son of a bitch. Something Oberdeen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the rest of it.
Yeah.
Return.
There you go. I haven't played that. and I
Return
meant
of
to.
the
I
Obradeen.
think that counts, right?
Yeah, that counts. Absolutely. This one comes from Matthew Brown.
I don't know what it is, but I like it. Super Nintendo?
Yes.
What is this sound? It's it's tough. It's not a style I'm used to. That instrument. Is it Konami or Capcom?
I think it might be Konami, but I can't promise.
James Bond Jr.
No.
I don't know who made that. A racing game.
It is Konami. I don't know what kind of game it is.
Konami on Super Nintendo, there's so many guesses. I really don't know. And if I don't know right away and it's Konami, then I'm lost. Some fighting game. Oh, you don't know what it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
The game is Cybernator.
I think I remember seeing that for rent.
Here comes one from Jess I.
Can't even place the system. It could be a whole bunch of things. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's either Super Nintendo, N64, or DS.
You are incorrect on all fronts.
Oh my God, what is it?
GBA.
Oh, that's really good for GBA. Really? Wow, that's impressive. good. It's not first party, is it?
It is.
Big whiffs all around for me. All right, first party, I don't know it. Pokemon,
No.
Metroid.
No.
Fire Emblem.
No.
First party, what the hell is this on GBA that's first party that I don't know? Pinball?
No.
Golden Sun.
No.
Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Oh, is it one of those weird ones that Nintendo published, like Tales of something?
Nope.
This is first party. This is boggling my mind. I don't know. Go ahead. Anybody else got anything?
No.
Donkey Kong Country 3.
Dixie
I don't
Kong's
remember
Double
that at
Trouble?
all. And I looked at it up there and I was like, no, that's not it. Wow.
This one comes from Knock on Wood.
That hurts. Oh, I know this, but it's really slowed down. Oh, it's going to screw me up. This is first party?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a really slowed down version.
It's nice.
Can you pause it? I can't hear this regular version in my head. What system?
Switch.
Is it Tears of the Kingdom?
It is not.
Is it Breath of the Wild?
Nope.
I thought you were onto something there.
It's first party.
Mm-hmm.
Smash Brothers.
Mm-mm.
Kirby in the Forgotten Realm.
No.
Origami King.
Yes.
Oh, nice job. Nice job.
Super Mario, the Origami King. Great job. This one comes from Mikey3319.
Roger Rabbit?
No.
Pictionary?
Nope.
Some other board game?
Nope.
Some licensed thing?
Yep.
It's gotta be. Is it Rare?
Yep.
Yeah, they all did this thing. Wrestling.
Nope.
Rare licensed. Just a regular Game Boy?
NES.
Oh. Barbie.
Nope.
I don't remember what else Rare did on the NES that was licensed. I'm sorry, not a board game?
Correct.
License still around?
Yep.
Oh, what a blind spot. Rare, those early days. I really thought it was going to be a WWF something, although the song would make no sense. Not Disney.
Ghostbusters.
Nope.
Still around today.
Yep.
What's still around today that's cartoon?
No.
Oh, this is getting more confusing by
Monopoly.
the moment.
Oh, we said no board game.
It's got
Jeopardy.
No.
Oh, that's good.
Wheel
Is it a
Fortune.
game show?
Nope. It's not a game show.
That's a good guess.
Pictionary.
Nope.
That I said. And it's not a board game.
Win, lose, or draw.
We all think
Nope.
it should be board game.
Price is Right.
I don't think there's an NES Price is Right game. That would have been interesting. Go ahead. Put us out of our misery.
It's Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so I never played it. I don't feel so bad.
The next jam we have comes from Wired.
Damn.
And I don't want nobody.
Tunic?
Mm-mm.
Tetris Connect? Or...
No.
Oh, I know this. Do I know this?
I don't know.
Man, I feel like I know this, and I want to say Tunic again. It's gonna be like a boom, 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 boom. At least I think. Maybe not.
I'm sorry, is this Switch?
It is Switch.
Oh, Oxenfree?
No.
Not a bad guess.
Is it something with radio waves or something? This is like something's growing here.
I don't know. We have about 10 seconds left.
I thought I knew it, but I guess I don't. I thought I
Oh,
played
no,
it.
never mind. You have a minute left. Sorry.
This isn't a puzzle game.
I have no idea.
Man, it sounds awesome.
Like Life is Strange or something. Like I feel like this is like building up for like a life-changing decision being made.
So this is a good round of songs, guys, because they're really bothering me.
But they've all been pretty cool, most of them.
I agree. Go ahead. Right, we're cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Milk 2.
Never even heard of it. What's the answer? Milk 2?
Oh, is it the another bag of milk game? That I did
All I
play
got.
that.
Weird milk.
Milk 2. Maybe that's what that sequel's called, and I played them both. That might be it.
That's what I got. This one comes from Akumaju. And this is from their youngest son, actually.
Oh yeah.
Scott Pilgrim.
You got it.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a weird game.
And the last song we have for this week comes from
Hold on. Okay.
Nico Darunia.
Yes. I played the game. Son of a bitch. Milk 2.
Is it TOO?
Number 2. 2 visual novels, 1 game. It's milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk.
That sounds familiar to me, I think.
Portable?
Maybe not.
Jeez, I forgot to
RPG?
make a note
Of what?
of what system.
It sounds RPG to me. Yeah, definitely.
Dragon Quest, something or other.
Oh, I thought you had. Sounds like
Jazzy.
GB. It sounds like DS.
I think it's GBA,
You said some jazz.
and it is an RPG.
Tales of
No,
Final Fantasy.
no,
Secret of.
no,
Breath of.
no,
Fire of.
no.
Fire Emblem.
Golden Sun.
Yes.
There we go.
Hey.
Good one. I don't know that yet, but I'll know it this week.
And this is like, these are all songs that were like submitted like a year ago, right? So it's just
Who knows?
kind of
Yeah.
coincidence that we'd have a Golden Sun song.
My brain doesn't look that far enough ahead to know, so
That's
that's
pretty
a
cool.
coincidence. Yeah. Well, we got 5 out of 10.
We got 6 out of 9.
We got 6 out of 9.
9.
And I guess that's it, unless you got anything, Joe.
No, I'm afraid not. Oh, look at this. It's just coming across my desk right now.
What an honor.
Wow.
Amazing. These spiders and these flies, they were worth every penny. Ladies and gentlemen, you may know that I run a little side business called Rumors, and I get them good, and I share them with you.
Okay.
So here's one that came across my desk. Well, the thing about the... I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
Good Lord. So the thing about these rumors is usually they're rumors, but this one's actually true this time around.
Wow.
Deux views.
Oh,
It's
there we
never
go.
news. Rumor of the week. with Deux Michaels. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's so funny how these rumors, or in this case, true thing, always coincides with what we talked about on the show. I just heard that Nintendo is making a new 2D Zelda game. And when asked about what the art style is going to be, they said that they want it to be as good as it can be. So they're making it with Atari style graphics. And they're collaborating with the folks who did the E.T. game and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And they said that they can't wait till RMC sees it because they know he's going to love and appreciate the graphics as they are.
Donkey Kong was on Atari, so I guess they're going way back to their roots. So
it has to be true.
I'll play it. Doesn't matter what it looks like. I'll play it.
That means that the company that they were asked going to work with
One of the
is
three
Atari.
Is Atari? Yeah, makes sense. Wow. There's your scoop, everybody. We were wondering what those three companies are. We know one of them now. Atari. There you go. The collaboration we've been waiting for Nintendo and Atari to make a Zelda game together.
Yep.
Yep. Atari's definitely got a proven track record of making great games. And we'll leave it at that. Thanks, Stu. We're honored to have that very true rumor this week. And that's it. I think our longest show ever. Why not?
I hope everyone had a really nice time tonight.
Oh, thanks, George. We thank you for staying the extra half hour more than usual. It's great having you here. Big plans tonight or no?
Got a lot of squeezing to do.
Oh,
Juicing.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. So you
Eggs.
really-
Something about eggs.
Ice.
Ice.
Oh, did you took that thing out? Is it like totally
It's in the
melted?
fridge.
Oh, okay.
I get like a lot of ice content on TikTok. There's like ice
Oh, yeah.
makers that make
Ice maker.
really exciting ice, and then there's like these people who make this like really fancy ice, like and a bunch of different kinds.
Fancy ice.
They use like an ice mold, and they put like fruit or vegetables or whatever like in the cube. It's
We're gonna get it now,
Interesting.
but I've never heard.
I was gonna say I'm not getting that, but of course I'm not getting it. 'Cause I don't use ice.
speaking
Which is
of
another
ice-
sticking point for a lot of people.
I watched Color Out of Space and the
Nick
last
Cage.
night, yeah, and there's ice cubes in that.
there you go.
Well, unless anybody's got anything really pressing for after show or they really want to talk about it, I think we should just let it go because we spent so long here. Everybody good?
I forgot to talk about. I won't talk about it, but I
Please
just
do.
wanted to mention. I forgot to talk about Three Kings, the Reigns, Three Kingdoms.
It's funny because I meant to sell you that when it came up during the show, and then I also forgot.
Yeah,
so.
I forgot to mention it, but I'll talk about it
Next week,
Is it a
everybody.
game?
Little spoiler.
It's a
Yeah.
game, yeah.
Well, that's it. Thanks for watching this super long show. I think we can say the laptop is fixed. It was great to have everybody here. I think this was one for the record.
Oh, by the
books, not
way,
in terms of length, but in
looks
terms
like,
of fun.
Oh, we're coming up on New Year's into 2025. That was a long show, is all I was saying.
Oh, I get it. And on that note, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, hang out with friends and family, rest, relax. You deserve it. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye,
Goodbye, everybody. No refunds.
Done.
George tried to